Hello.
Hello. Hey.
How's it going?
Good to hear from you. Yeah. Things are going well. Yeah.
Good
Good to
stuff.
catch you on a weekday.
Yeah, always.
I've been messing around with my audio. I joined another Discord just to try and sort it out. So if at any point you feel it's not what it sounds like to me, let me know.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I've
Cool.
been messing with mine too. I'm checking my settings. It looks like we're at the same level. I can like make it so I can hear myself, and then I can be like, "Oh, is that the same volume as you?" But like I can't really
Yes.
tell. It
I
seems.
see that as a distraction for the most part.
Y-
If it as you're actively talking, if you can hear yourself,
Yeah. Well, the
that can
idea,
be a distraction.
the idea is
Yeah.
just like I can just like enable it for like a second just to make sure like the levels aren't like totally off.
Sure.
But like
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at audio. It's tough. I'm doing my
It's
best.
tough in Discord. It's kind of limiting,
Yeah.
in my experience, because any if you're using OBS, you have full control over everything. If you're producing something, it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is about like right now, I mean, your audio is going through OBS, which is going
Sure.
through filters. I mean, so I have, which is just like a
Is it
random like,
condensing?
yes, that's like the only thing actually. I mean, and ideally,
Okay.
if I was better at, wait, oh, now I want to see what filters are on it. Okay, actually, no, there's no filters on it, but there were supposed to be, hypothetically.
That's
But
fine.
then whatever filters, then I
Yeah.
could listen to. I don't. But like, will you recommend like other apps besides Discord that are easier to use?
Well, Discord is pretty limited, and they do that intentionally. It's the bare bones. I'm gonna set a noise gate. This is the level at which that I'll be able to at least eliminate some volume,
Yeah,
but make sure that people can hear each other. And I think the biggest thing that you want to cut out, at least, which I don't hear a whole lot from you, is the keyboard volume and your mouse clicking. That's tough. That's tough. You have to emit certain frequencies if you can. Yeah,
yeah. I have. I
yeah,
mean, hopefully I'll get better at it. I'm gonna get a mic
yeah.
at some point, and I'll chat with my friend that knows how to do stuff.
Sure.
But figure it
Yeah, I
out.
have a buddy as well who kind of pushes me in the right direction.
Yeah, and good evening, Hagrata in chat. Nice to see you again today.
Hello.
But how have you been, Blox? It's been a little while.
It's been a while. I figure we have a lot to talk about just with the new factions.
Yeah,
What's changed with that? What's changed in your life? But yeah, things are good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you been into deck building or like what sort of factions have you been queuing these days?
I I have to admit the first thing when the new factions came out was my excitement with deck building because
Yeah,
I personally felt as though the events that came out were busted. When you compare the events that came out with the new decks and I look at the factions that I frequent, they seem so much more impactful and powerful in ways that would impact deck building. And I feel validated by that from users in the Discord who are also playing. Um, People like Jexic who know far more than me about deck building. Um, uh,
yeah,
just just wild abilities. You compare it to something like the cloaks, where you get an extra +1 attack for 1 unit on ranged attack, and then you look at some of the abilities of the new factions that aren't epic events that allow you to pull units to a gate or um, destroy a unit to give every single one of your units +1 attack on an offense. It's just not comparable. Um, so maybe I compared the worst of it with the cloaks to some of the best of it with the Crimson Order or Mountain Vargath. It, it's night and day. I really like the events that they brought into the game. I think they're very good.
Oh, so you're saying they seem stronger
I
with
I
Crimson Order?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. So you can always balance a unit by looking at its stats compared to what it costs.
yeah,
That's a pretty rudimentary analysis, and it doesn't factor in all of the other complexities with the the relationship between their abilities and what the summoner does and the intricacies of that. You can look at it just on its own, and I see the events as being really powerful. And I see that reflected at least in the Discord on its the win rates. Uh, there's some
Yeah,
novelty with the win rates of a new faction. People don't understand it,
for sure.
but I do think they're good. I do think that they're both good factions. They'll fit well.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I mean, I guess like my take on like events and stuff would be that, like the deck as a whole always seems to be balanced, but like different parts of different tools within that can end up like higher or lower than that bar. So like once they enter the
Sure.
deck building sphere, it's like Blood Summon's pretty balanced in Fallen Kingdom. In any other deck, it's
Yes.
not. In any deck that's built
No.
around like a bunch of two cost units, it's just busted. And
It's busted.
yeah,
Yeah, or at least it appears as being such.
yeah, yeah,
When you're playing against other deck building decks, you can't look at a card on its own and completely make the justification.
yeah,
In my opinion, Blood Summon just is one of the people that it's one of the cards that breaks the mold of what is broken and not broken because of the opportunities.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I love what's coming out. I'm especially looking forward to the what my buddy had mentioned was like kind of a frog deck, at least in the teasers.
Yes,
That might
yes,
be.
I've heard. And hey, Shadenka in chat, nice to see you as well.
Hello,
Glad to see you
everyone.
back. I've heard. Do you ever listen to the Plaid Hat podcasts?
I listened to the most recent one, but
And
that's it.
that they
Yeah,
they and so you heard them tease the frogs a little bit.
exactly.
Exactly. It sounds cool.
I
Sounds
think
weird.
yeah,
It sounds like a new
having
take
a
on growth.
faction,
Yeah.
a new take on what's that?
A new take on like the growth concept.
Sure.
That like because
Yeah.
normally all the growth factions is just like I don't know, you just have a lot of boosts on all your units and it's good. And it's like you're growing potions? That's weird. Sounds cool.
Yeah, they had mentioned something along the lines of running out of the the core ideas, and that they're kind of well on their own officially. They knew what was going to work up until this point, and now they're kind of swimming, wading in the water, trying to see what's going to make sense and what works, and
Yeah.
that's exciting to me.
Yeah. Well, it's
It
exciting that
yeah.
Colby's always most excited about the next deck, like the next thing that he just made. Like I feel like that says a lot of
Yeah.
good about like the design space right now. That he just keeps being like as soon as like Fungal Dwarves and Eternal Council came out, he was
Mhm.
like, this is like when I feel like I really like got to like start doing some really new and exciting stuff with the systems in 2E. And it's just like every time there's a new deck, he's like,
Mm.
yeah, like one that my favorite one now is what do you say, Storm Goblins. Like he likes what he's doing there. It's just like that excites me a lot.
I love that they come out with two at a time, because if they iteratively released one at a time, it puts the focus completely on how much either people hate it, if it's overpowered.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, I completely agree.
it, it diverts all of the attention from one thing to multiple. It's kind of genius in a
Yeah.
way, but it also slows down the development time and
And it's
the
a
complexity of it. Yeah.
yeah. And it's a two-person game. It's nice to have something new for each person. Like just makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, let's talk about what are you excited to play? Do you want to play some older factions? Do you want to play a newer faction against something that I'm strong with?
I'm really happy for whatever. Like for some reason I seem to not want to put down the Crimson Order. Like I just
Oh,
cannot. I'm just obsessed with them right now, but like
sure.
I'm happy to do anything Summoner Wars.
I had a note just about that regarding how how you continue to have the motivation to play over and over again despite the repetitive nature of it. Every game is different, obviously.
Yeah.
But what motivates you to continue outside of the release of new factions to find that the drive to continue playing the same thing over and over again, or
Yeah,
picking a new faction and kind of diving into it?
that's interesting. I mean, maybe it says something, the fact that like that's not a question that's really on my mind, or it's kind of just I'm
Yes.
playing, I'm having fun, I'm gonna keep playing, keep having fun. I think when I try to justify like how I can just play so much of this, like I think it's this feeling that I get that like I'm always improving, and there's
Sure.
always like, and I always feel like I can get way better. Like I feel like I've played a ton, but I still feel like every faction I'm like very far from mastery at. And I don't know, this is a feeling that I just had from the very beginning with Summoner Wars. Is like
Mhm.
I messed up that game, and I don't know how exactly, but I'm confident I can do it better. And something
Sure.
about that, it's very satisfying. I think, did we talk about this last time? I don't know, but like
A little
something,
bit.
but
We
something,
touched on this. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was something else about like tactics versus strategy, like just being able
Mm.
to, like, I not needing to micromanage every single decision 20 turns in advance with Summoner Wars, and sort of just being
True.
able to like have a general strategy makes it very approachable. That's definitely my sort of game.
I
Shidenka says in chat,
I love that.
Shidenkai,
Sure.
is that how I should pronounce it? I think it's crazy. They were able to do 20 factions already that are completely different from each other. And they're still making new ones. Amazing. Yeah, I
Mm.
totally agree with that too. That like even in the master set, it's like each of the six factions has a totally different play style, and they're somehow like all balanced, and like they all work within the
Yeah.
system, and they're all incredibly simple and easy to pick up, and yet they each are super strong, but for a totally different reason. And that's just very impressive as well. Just how, and I think Colby said that on a podcast too. Just like that the
Mm.
second edition summoners are much less vanilla. Like they have a strength and they're really freaking good at that. And yeah.
I love the differentiation between tactics and strategy because they are different. I see a tactic as being a position or a strength within the faction that you lean towards, and when you see it, you kind of you adopt it, and you fall into a pattern that um, you've seen before. Something that's strong about the faction if they gain strength from being in a certain position, in closed positions or open positions, leaning towards that, and then the overall strategy being at its most reduced. I'm playing for the short game or the long game, um, which when you see the Crimson Order falling into a certain thing, and I see the Mountain Vargath being more of a flexible faction in that regard.
Hmm.
But I love, and I think that you would have also fallen into the Crimson Order being an econ faction. Um, Generally, you don't have the strongest units other than the best two cost in the game, but you're almost forced to
Other than
play
that.
econ. Yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing about it. It has some of the worst abilities outside of econ, which it's unparalleled in the econ regard. You're going to play a long game with them at the end of the day, which is beautiful. They they push in that direction, and I don't see it really being that much as powerful in any other way. And for that reason, they're super strong.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. Like, well, and like my takes about the two new ones, like I still feel like I do not know for either. Like I can see these guys being played as a rush faction, or like as
Mm,
a horde
yeah,
faction, like you just
aggressive.
have tons of zero costs and whatnot. And yeah, like my default playstyle is to always have that econ option. Um, I am finding a fair few just being like I've occupied their gates, I've pushed them into a corner. Um, and like in order to keep up with econ, I find myself like holding champs with these guys a lot more than I would
Mm,
like to, because I'm like, if I don't hold
yes.
I know I'm at 2 magic, but if I don't hold Sekhmet, like I have no long game.
Yeah, what
I
am
don't
I
know.
gonna do? but once you get two champions in your hand, then you're really questioning, is
Then
this the right way for me to
you're
play? I'm
really
fighting for
questioning your life
units.
choices. Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
guessing you talk to more aggressive players and they're a big fan of just getting in
Mm,
there and discarding heavy and I don't know. Yeah, I
yeah.
gotta figure it out.
I'd say there's a certain hands or a couple of hands where you're playing Crimson Order, where you're really at odds with, am I holding on to every champ and playing them, or I'm clustered with events and gates, and these champions I need to make that discard. Which champ do I actually get rid of?
Yeah.
The situations that we all end up with, that competition between, do I need that extra magic, or can I make another turn and still continue to maintain my board presence?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I for the first time ever, I landed in my very sparing time of playing as the quote unquote number one player for Phoenix Elves, and for
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and, and for the Fungal Dwarves, for whatever that's worth. And to me, that just means that people aren't playing it because the new factions have come out, and I'll be
Yeah.
pushed out of the way soon enough. um, so I guess those are my strong suit. But I love playing the avians, and I'd love to talk about the guide later after we play some games.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and sorry, I haven't really
Sure.
gotten a chance to taking a look at it.
Yeah. I
I'm
want some
very
advice
interested.
from you.
Yeah, no, I'd absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be happy to look at it. It's true. It's the sort of thing that's like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to. That it's just like, oh my God, I'm
Ah,
always busy. It
I,
always it always gets
you
pushed
know,
down. It sounds really cool
yeah,
though.
you find a point at lunch where you can at least take an hour and
Yeah,
spend
yeah,
that time. So
for
yeah.
sure.
Um.
Um,
So I'll leave it. I'll leave it at this. Do you want me to pick something, or would you prefer to play one of the newer factions, maybe against something that's a little bit more established?
uh, yeah, that sounds fun.
I
You wanna pick something you're comfortable with, and
let's
I'll take a new guy, unless.
So here's what I'm thinking on that regard. Then I see the Fungal Dwarves as being a econ faction in a different way,
Yeah,
kind of a long game faction.
yeah,
I'd love to see your Crimson Order, which it sounds like you're excited about,
yeah. Let's
against
do it.
my Fungal.
That sounds awesome.
Okay, okay.
For sure.
I'll go ahead and make it. Uh, my buddy calls it the Funga Bonga because they're very simplistic. I mean, there's
Yeah,
micro decisions that uh,
it's
make it
it,
long term,
it's funny like playing with people in person. Like you develop languages. Like I think at some point one of my friends just like walked in the room and was like, "Oh Ben, are you playing Raztaz?" And like totally
but
unironically just like missed the name, and it was like we just called him Raztaz forever. Like on and I guess now after like being like being moved away from those people for a while, like I finally sort of stopped saying Raztaz, but like he's still Raztaz in my heart. Uh,
In my avians guide, I gave every single bird a different kind of funny name, um, which is completely along the lines of what you're saying. Um,
yeah,
those little, yeah.
Queen
Um,
Malaria. Like there's a lot to be done.
sure. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and drop. You have the voice to yourself and make comments. But yeah, good luck, my friend.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you on the other side.
Sounds good.
What
All
are you
right.
gonna
Bye
spell
bye.
on it? All right, bye. Uh, they don't see. Looks good. I gotta find a way to make the notifications not come through on stream. Like when it's like you need to update your PC. I think I know of a way I could do it. It actually that wouldn't be that tough. So like I just need to send Discord's audio through a cable and not through a thing. Let's see. N1K2. Okay, I'll go with N1K2 from now on. No, sorry to mess it up. What's your opinion on Mountain Vargath general discards and comfortable magic amount to sit on? I I wish I had better answers for you. I'm sorry. I think I've played 3 games with the Vargath total. So I'm happy to speculate, and I sure will. I'll speculate away for you, but um, I'm sure people in the Discord that have played more Vargas could tell you. Like I think Jack Six a big fan. Um, like I think three when I think of these guys, sort of just for brute and something else. General discards, like what I'm doing, I don't know. I mean, I find it hard to use their. I think like I'm gonna figure out how to use the events more as I start playing more. That's that's something I struggle with. So right now I'm discarding a lot of events, but I think that's part of the process of learning. But like you have a bunch of events, if you don't think, I mean, when you start playing a good faction, a good rule of thumb is if you didn't use it this turn and you can't immediately see a use for next turn, you can discard it. And as you start to get better at a faction, you'll see less of that. Um, and yeah, I mean it seems like you can kind of discard all of the commons. I mean the slinger seems really good, but if you already have a slinger or two, you probably don't need it. I tend to see that because like we got champs that are really good and like our commons are expensive, that I'm discarding a fair bit. So I'm trying to I'm trying to I'm okay with discarding any number of commons. I really like playing Tordin, but that might just be because I see Big Lizard. Yeah. Anyway, hope that sort of if you have any more questions, I'm happy to speculate. Again, it's just all speculation. And sorry, we've missed this entire first turn. But that's a really good question. I wanted to chat about it. It's gonna be fun when we do the Summoner Scuffle. I'm sure there's gonna be Crimson Order or Vargeth on there, and Fuzzy Marmot and I are gonna be like, I don't know what's going on here. Something's attacking something. I don't know. And that'll be fun. That'll be a fun dynamic. Let's get in there. Do we have convert already? We do. Okay. Wow. This faction is so good. It's insane. It's just a rush faction. You get in there, you go crazy. Blood begotten. I love this faction. I don't like to discard commons in any factions. I know it feels bad. I think that the more though that I've played the game, the more you start to be like, "Ah, I just have to. Like I have to because I want to have tempo for other things. Cthulhu's still one of the factions that I still really struggle to discard with, and I often won't. Even though like I probably should. I'll just be I won't discard even though it feels like I kind of need to for tempo. But in general, this is board state like turn one. I think I'm gonna discard this just to have something in the discard pile. No, I'm gonna hold it. Isn't that absurd? There's nothing in my discard pile. I have like 15 units out. Good luck dealing with that. Um, that's just ridiculous. These guys are definitely got cave goblins vibes of just you are being overwhelmed by a bunch of boys, by a whole lot of boys. There's certain commons. I mean, because I guess the way to think about it is like I need to be able if especially if they kill most of my units next turn, I need to have enough magic to have a turn. And so if I have a bunch of commons in hand and I have one magic, for most factions that's not gonna fly. For most factions you need three. And yeah, Hagrati, you got tips. Battle leader seems to be mostly useful as a general summoner reposition. At least I haven't needed anything beyond that. Um, battle leader is that's the one that like gives extra attack, extra move. Yeah, that's generally good. And when you can get the extra attack out of it, it's good. The events in Sunderheads feel in general a bit more situational, like or like a bit more like Rognak style, like is good. But it's not like it's not Crimson Order, like it's no convert, like it's where convert is insane. Convert. I think grabbing this forward gate spot would be pretty good, honestly. maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped that there. Because now I can't. I gotta get big attacks here though. We'll summon the cultist. You know, we'll just do a big line of boys, I guess. Then that's fine. Um, hold out on call forth. Yeah, I might as well. Drop a gate over here. I could drop a gate there. I don't think I will. Blood begotten. Love this faction. Blood begotten. Sorry, I'll leave a message in a second. What's with my rolls these days? What's going on? So, seen a lot of ranged misses and whatnot. Discard that. We'll hold call forth. That's good enough to hold. Yeah, what we did 1 damage in that for. Then again, I haven't a whole lot of games with them, so it may change. Yeah, I mean, I think similar to Grognak, like you'll find like Brutal Force was an auto discard for a while for me, and it still is. I'll admit, but like I definitely am more appreciative that there could be some good value when it comes to Brutal Force. You just gotta make it work. At least we hit on cool deck. At least we hit where it counts. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Yes, sorry, I'm not too well versed in names of aircrafts, but seems cool. I yeah, sorry. So it sounds like I'm just like spreading off random stuff, but I have a friend who's like very into war games, and so and he always knew like the names of lots of different lots of different aircrafts and whatnot, and he I don't know, he had all these games where he was like, and he was designing games of like different different like crafts and ships from lots of different times. And he had a lot of fun with that, and we'd play some of his games as a group. Yeah, let me take this turn, and then I'll give that a read. 1 second. I think I want to shoot Cool Deck. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a good strategy. Um, do I want to sacrifice the Doom Cultist? Doom Cultist could attack Maldar and then be sacrificed. Warrior could attack the carrier. I do think I want to get up there. We're still saving Call Forth. I guess that's fine. I could infect this carrier. Oh, that might be a way better turn. Um, that might be a better turn. Um, put a Doom Cultist there. Yeah, it seems really good. Let's go there, there. Did I summon that? What did I summon this turn? I see. Because maybe I want to be able to summon something in the move phase. Um, no, it's probably, well, I guess we go there. I still want to move Daymar up. I guess Daymar isn't attacking anything, so that's fine. Um, and let's hit it. and hit Maldar, I guess. I guess Maldar is a threat. Then I will death right. This cultist. Warrior attacks the carrier. No blood begotten. And so yeah, I mean a lot of damage on cooldock is gonna make him worried. Nope, just kidding. No damage on cooldock. Dice are not doing good for us. Do we want the priest? I'm gonna discard it. It's a long turn. Not sure if leader is worthwhile unless you're getting the 4th attack, but maybe getting +2 aura to units that need to worth the play too. Yeah, I'm new to the game and 50-50 lost to the goats though, so I'm probably wrong. I mean, you play the game, you get better at the game, so I wouldn't I wouldn't deprecate yourself. It's good to chat about things. Yeah, I mean, it feels like value when you get the 4th attack. I guess like there's probably board states where moving your summoner is important enough that even though like you're not really getting value out of the event, you're getting value out of like the game in general, just like your summoner being there, it's not going to die or something, or you're able to get more efficient attacks because you're able to move your summoner to safety and get the plus bonus. So like I could definitely I think it's just situational. But yeah, it would definitely vary situation to situation. And you're right that the most value is when you get in the attack as well. Um About discarding commons. Certain commons I do discard. For example, the Vanguard Archers. Yes, yes. Fair, fair. It's sometimes I drop one to be meat shotted, but other than that, they're discarded for magic, or to be a meat shield. The Vanguard comment. See, the thing about it's funny that you bring up the Citadel Archers like this because the Citadel archers become a lot better. I mean, they are the unit that like I pick up when I'm a beginning player and I'm like, what? I have to discard my commons, but I want to play them. If you like whenever you get comfortable discarding commons, like then Citadel archers can be a lot better. They're bad once you hit the mid game and like later when you don't want to discard as much, but like in the early game, drop a full hand of commons, boost up to like 6 or 7 magic, so you can get Colleen out and start to get some crazy plays. They're pretty huge. They can do a lot for you. But it's funny that plays into our discussion exactly. Like you have to be comfortable discarding with them, though. You have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable discarding commons to get value out of them. But definitely varies, and you get a sense for which commons give you more value than others. Like lots of decks have a common that gives you the most value. Like tends to be like a 2/5, but it varies. Or it's like I'm playing Savannah Elves and I play all my border archers, but I don't necessarily need to play all of the spirit mages or what's a good example of like the value common of the set? I mean, I guess Citadel Knights are probably like it's like I don't know. It tends to be a 2/5 and like and my instinct will be to like hold on to those as much as possible. Um kind of wish I had held the thing that I discarded, but I can just call forth it, so it's totally fine. Discard. Call forth. Yeah, let's call forth one of these and one of these. Wait, do I need a guy in hand? No, I have a Doom Cultist. Um, Summon phase. There, there. Probably good. Oh, I already had one of those. Do I want to change that then? And yeah, honestly, let's um no, we'll just discard it anyway. I don't mind. I feel like I want to discard a little bit more right now. Keep that servant there. Daemar goes here. Hack phase. We have convert. We have a Doom cultist in here, right? We sure do. Oh, it would be good to be able to drop a devout cultist there. Fine, fine, fine. Hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry. Uh, and devout cultist. Alright. There we go. Move Daemar. Move the warrior. 8. Convert. Okie dokie. And we still got the Doom cultist. Good stuff. So this matchup's interesting because I feel like I need to play my 2/2s, which is normally like playing a 2/2 is kind of death against fungal dwarves, but it's just like I'm just gonna overrun you with 2/2s. Like I don't there's no other option here. It's got to be done. Okay, you can bloom. Oh, I should have clicked this. Oh, we can, huh? Oh, we can convert both of those. That's kind of insane. Yeah, sure, why not? We will attack over there, and then should I just put another Doom cultist down? I'm honestly tempted to. Um, with Coolduck at such low health, honestly, yeah. I'm going with it. With Cooldock so low, it seems good. Do I want to hold this other cultist in hand, go to play next turn? I think I do. Let's see. The two decks that seem like great examples of value out of discarding. These two decks. Bungledores want to discard early carriers and beasts, and Draculas have multiple ways of getting them back as well. Yeah, for sure. And Bungledores have the added thing of like they gotta get their engine going. And I mean, I guess it's just what you said. You want to discard carriers and beasts, but also you just want to get to them. Like the more cards in your discard pile, the more cards in your hand. Like you want to have a shaman, you want to have carriers, you want to have beasts. You want to have your events. Like you need magic. You just need to get on the board. So like it's not uncommon if you just have a hand, like just drop all 5 turn 1 as fungal dwarfs or something. And you really want to get a gate out. There's a lot of factions where you just do everything you can to get on the board. Maybe it was a little bit greedy making that a Doom cultist. Oh, I don't know if they know I can go up that line. I'm just gonna shoot you. You're just gonna die. That'll be that. um, thanks for the advice. Makes sense to use arches at the beginning. Yeah, it's tough. Well, I mean, I mean, here's what I'd say. I just say try it because it's definitely like this being comfortable discarding more is tough, and it took me a while, and it's not always right. It's not like it's the strategy. But often it just gives you more options to have more magic in the early game. But the problem is, well, how do I still have a late game because I dropped a lot more cards, and you get a feel for that. But I'd recommend just trying it, especially with decks like Sarah and Edia. Those are great decks to like start. They sort of teach you to discard heavy because they reward that. They reward you having a lot of magic, and Edia rewards you getting to the end of your deck quicker because then you have Katu to be relevant the sooner. Um, no, I don't think they. But maybe they got release force. Surely they see this gate. So it's not. It's an easy thing to miss. So like, I understand. I don't know if I wanted to double infect there. I mean, the fact that they didn't have any beasts this turn definitely benefited me. How much magic did I start this turn with? 4. Interesting. Wow, what a weird color. Wait, when you're saying that, tell me what you're talking about. Are you talking about the screen? Because I've been having issues. What color are you chatting about? Also nice to see you, Watered. How's it going? It's been a little while. Yeah, let me. I'm trying to play with it. I haven't figured out how to use this capture card. Let me, since you're here, okay, so I'm gonna press a default. So a little bit less red. Does it look less red now? This is how it normally looks. Maybe, and then I'll try to going back to orange. I accidentally had on my night shift mode last night, and it was just totally orange. Okay, I'm gonna try to desaturate it a little bit. I just don't know how to use this capture card, basically. And you might be asking, why the heck are you using a cap? I mean, it's like this is like all the way saturated. Woo. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna like 10 points of desaturation. That look like any better or something? I just don't know how to use this. I'm using a capture card like from my Mac to this. I appreciate you pointing it out. Maybe just not important overall, just surprised. No, it's been bugging me. I've been like comparing my videos and it's like no, I appreciate you pointing it out. Like because it's not something I want. But I don't quite know how to fix it. And it might just be like my capture card's not good enough to like do good things, but surely, surely, right? There we go, black and white. Does this look any better watered? Like, does this are you still seeing what you noticed? Does it seem less saturated? Okay. Does it still seem like a little bit more saturated than you'd want it to be though? And so sorry for drilling you. I'm just like very curious about this. Easy, easy. I mean, still not normal, but better. Okay, we take that because it looks a little bit green or something. It might just. Do you have any experience with capture cards? I assume you're saying no and just commenting. I think I just need to get a better capture card. I'll look up if there's a way I can change the settings here. Like maybe because desaturating it just makes it appear. Yes, but I don't do anything with them. Do you know anything about like how to configure settings that are settings more correctly? I could definitely I might send you a DM or something. Um, it looked perfectly fine to me the entire stream. Yeah, like it looks fine, but like if you just it looks a little bit different from what's actually on my screen to what's getting projected. This is super nitpicky, but like it's a little bit green, it's a little bit oversaturated. Like the brights are a little bit too bright. I don't like you if you look at some of if you compare like videos before and after I was using the capture card, it's just like I just like the look before a little bit better. But like it's very nitpicky. It doesn't like it's totally fine. Looks like we're doing a rematch. Um, same faction. What's been up? What have you been playing? You said you were busy for a little bit, taking a break. You're jumping back on the Summoner Wars train. I'm just accepting a link. What do you think about this? Screen looking good right now? No. Uh, back to it. This matchup's a lot of fun. They're up first this time. Woohoo! Wait, they were up first last time too. This matchup seems fun because it's just like somehow I keep winning with Daymar even though I'm playing a bunch of tutus, which is like a very interesting dynamic against Fungal Dwarves. You expect them to just be destroyed. With just like the amount of infect material I'm getting on, but it's almost like I'm playing cave goblins, except they don't suck or something like that, you know? Or like cave goblins, except they actually have tools. Uh, free for 4 days. Woohoo! After receiving a massive beating this weekend in poker, so I needed a break. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. I'm sorry to hear it. Variants, etc. I guess. Need a break and spammed games nonstop and ranked in first with like 300 ELO above the second place. Season 3 ranked games, you mean? The system doesn't find me games anymore. Need to wait you people to get up in ELO. So you started with season 3. Yeah, because I haven't even queued any ranked games in season 3. Um So yeah, I imagine it takes a little bit for us plebs to get up there at your level. I mean, it'll give you people eventually. It'll just take because like it slowly widens the gap until it's like a 300 ELO. Been playing a lot of Swamp Orcs. Interesting. Do you like to when you're queuing ranked games? Do you sort of queue a bit of everything? I mean, I think you've talked about it. Or do you like you focus factions for a little while? I remember seeing a screenshot of you like with like 12 Breakers games in the queue or something. But it seems like you changed that you got top 10 with one faction, then you changed and whatnot. Man, I want another warrior. God, warriors are so good. Depends on how you feel. Mostly focus one or two. Yeah. I've always sort of just queued like I've never done like more than one game with a faction. I'm thinking of changing that. I don't know. I'm thinking of like maining Daemar and like Muglug this season, and because normally I sort of play all the factions, but I do like the idea of just like focusing on one faction for like a month at a time and like seeing how much better I get. Sounds fun. Okay, this spot isn't great. I won't even lie. Um, I think I'm just gonna. So we're going here. We're going here, and we're going here, and we're moving the priest back to force the beast to overextend if they want to get the infect. I don't want to move something close, so it's not super easy for them to get value out of the infect. Um, and this is good. Gonna Blood Begotten because we're just gonna heal that health anyway, and I'd probably do it any like I'm pretty greedy when it comes to Blood Begotten. What's up with my melee dice? I'm normally not superstitious, but like I am like it's like huh. The I was hearing someone talking about like algorithms too for randomness and how like sometimes they're kind of flawed in digital apps. And it's making me think. But like normally I never I'm just like, oh, it's a bad roll. It's like, haha, that's crazy. And now I'm like, huh, that's weird. And let's discard more magic, more good. Yeah, usually focus one or two. I think it's better to really focus because it helps me think about the faction in depth. That makes sense. Uh, I agree, Watered. I love your videos. I hope to see more. Plan to make another tier list. Super busy. 4 days of the exception. 4 days starting now. I wonder. You want to do another 24-hour straight straight games against each other, Watered. 48 hours even, just non-stop Summoner Wars. Cheerless videos, 3 strategy guides for Summoner Warzone. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I tried a format the other day that you might enjoy, Watered, because I know you're a Blitz player. I'm free to play if you want for a few hours. Unfortunately, not. Well, maybe later tonight. Right now I'm playing with Vlox. We're doing a few games. We'll probably. How long has it been going? We've been going for 48 minutes. I think last time we went for like 2.5 hours. So yeah, it'll be a few hours. But I would definitely play some later tonight or like tomorrow afternoon over the weekend or something. I'll send you a message. What was I saying? Oh, this it is. I tried a format with a friend where we queued the same matchup. It was Crimson Order versus Fallen Kingdom. We queued it 7 times. And we did this originally because of a bug, but we were like, we'll just play it. And we played them all live, just playing as fast as you can in like a 3 hour time span. And like if the other person laps you, they get extra points. I don't know. I was thinking I realized that might be something you'd find fun because I know you like Blitzen, just like you only get like 10 seconds to think of the play and then you gotta go because you have 7 more games waiting for you. Strategy guides have helped me focus on faction that's confused about, for sure. Specifically Obsidian Dwarves, Shadow Elf. Man, Watered, I don't know if I ever would have figured out Obsidian Dwarves if it wasn't for you. Like I literally had played them for months just being like I guess like I'm trying to win on value, but it's really hard. And you just being like, no, you just gotta go forward and like take the risk with your summoner. Like it was like, oh, it makes sense. Like I see the power level. See, things are going a lot less good this game. Um, this is where I start talking about, oh no, this matchup's bad for me, blah blah blah. I need to draw a gate. I'm realizing this very quickly. I'm getting overwhelmed. I need a gate. This guy not going to 3? That guy's not going to 3. He's getting murdered. It's getting super murdered. Could you have damaged my guy or something? Jeez. Let's send a warrior. Do we want call forth? I guess. Oh, that'll damage my son. That's good. This and this looks good. And I guess we're just gonna death right. Do I need to move back 2 spaces? I don't really think I want them to infect that, so I think I'm just gonna keep this here. And hopefully call it fine. Gonna death right this over here. Be careful not to hit something I shouldn't. Not gonna Blood Begotten here, because we don't need to. I mean, honestly, damaging Daemar can be good. Alright, we're cleaning up a little bit. That is not ideal. That's unfortunate. Get there. And I think we want big units, so I'm gonna discard that. And sorry, 1 second. Let's see. Oh, you did a podcast. That's awesome. That's fine to distract you from winning is going well. We're doing fine. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. Gotta look at something. We're chilling. Don't worry. Yeah, you don't. Did I? Huh. I sort of like reflexively held the call forth. Maybe I didn't want to. I got the gate anyways. Did a podcast talking about breaker strategy. Oh boy, yeah, I might need that. I feel like I'm good at breakers, and yet I lost in the Gen Con tournament with them, so basically I suck. Remaking all of the guides slowly, making more in-depth, trying to figure out the right spot between too simple and too complex, for sure. Yeah, it's tough to... It's almost like you'd want 2 different versions, or like, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely tough. Discover Magic podcast. Yeah, I'm excited to keep listening to that. No idea about the matchup, but it seems complicated for Crimson Order. You have all those cultists that are perfect hosts. I know, right? That they're perfect hosts, and yet like my take so far is like I'm just gonna keep using them. I don't care. Like I don't like I'm just gonna hope to rush you down. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day it's tough, but like, man, I got these 4/5s and they're really good. And you got Daemar, like for the same reasons that Maldaria can do pretty decent, is like that same principle can probably be applied. You got Convert, and I mean, like, Convert infects better than the Fungal Dwarves infect, so that can go a little nuts. So, like, so I think it's, we have tools. We have tools, and they're not bad. Um, let's see, what sort of attacks can I do? I'm probably just gonna have that priest heal itself. Let's just go here. Um, I am I thinking about this? Am I thinking about this? Not really. Should I be thinking about this? No, we're chilling. Um, we are big chilling. I could maybe be considering this play a little bit more. This is totally fine. We are big chilling. Gonna grab a Doom Cultist. This is gonna hit every time. If this misses, that kind of sucks. Easy. Easy. Doom Cultist. It sucks we don't have the... Deathrite is so good, right? Well, let's see. Let's see this attack first. Because I imagine Cool Deck's got to be a little overextended at this point. Let's transfuse. God, that sound effect does not fit. It just doesn't. Yeah, you got a lot of boosts. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Alright, we're going big. We've discarded a lot. I'm ready to play all my 2/5s. I'm ready to play Casamara. Deathrite is 2 warriors. Good. Yes, it's you say things and I'm like, sorry, I meant call forth. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Call forth is 2 warriors. Very good. For sure. Warriors are what you want in this matchup. Interesting part of this deck is how like magic management is kind of interesting because you're like I get your deck does technically like if you exclude the champions, you have the exact same cost as cave goblins. But I definitely find myself in situations where I feel like I need to hold champions. Um, I mean, this is after like 5 games, but I need to hold champions to have that competitive edge or to have a chance at the econ. Like if I am like crap, if I discard the 7 cost, like even if I call forth only warriors, like I'm just gonna be struggling for econ because so much of my deck is these 0 costs, and I'm giving my opponent so much magic for all these 0 costs I'm playing. Um, yeah, call forth is definitely 2 warriors in this matchup. I mean, I think we're trying to get in their face, and then we're gonna try to, you know, I think you need champs against FD because this matchup is a magic fest. For sure. Yeah, I don't think I'll discard a single champ this matchup. Especially against FD, definitely need champs. But even I think like the very first game I played of this, I was like I mean, I won the game, but I had 12 magic to spare at the end because I discarded like I normally do, and that gave me a lot of extra. Which was funny. But still figuring out this faction is just fun. Like I'm just so addicted. Like I cannot stop wanting to play it. God, I could get. I mean, I guess they probably got released the spores. If I had a big thing, if I had second it, that'd be awesome right now. Yeah, definitely FD is popping off a little bit. I won't even lie. But we're gonna get through this. Call forth. I don't think I need. I was gonna do a warrior, but would I rather just do Casamara? I was gonna put Daemar over here, but would I rather just? This is like maybe a turn to actually think about. Do I want to infect over there? Do I want to find a way to kill this beast? I could probably kill that beast if I infected this, then I could double attack that beast. Um, Monstrosity alert. That's true. Okay, no. See, I don't always think about that. All right, not putting Casamara over there, because then that would be very bad. Might put some 0/2s in the way. I mean, that's why I sort of just want. I was just gonna put Damer over there. Um, Casamara here, Priest to there. I mean, I was gonna do like Daemar here, priest there. I don't know at the end of the day. I definitely just don't want to let Casamar be attacked on multiple sides, and so I don't love putting the priest there. I could just hold off on Casamar and just play warriors. I don't know. I'm sort of not seeing it, so maybe that'll just be our play. And I don't know, we'll just go over there or something. That's fine. And then we got 2 attacks. Oh, do we want to do like an infect something something? Oh, we can drop a Doom Cultist there. That's probably good. We can also drop a Doom Cultist there, assuming we get it. I mean, I could just put Casamara there. I don't know. I don't want to get Casamara assassinated. This lets them attack on 2 sides, though. I mean, maybe I shouldn't give him that spot. Yeah, I should probably move up there. I I don't know though. I mean, this could just be Casamara though. Just could just be Casamara attacking that. I mean, that seems pretty good, right? Like Casamara, Daemar, blah blah blah. Put that priest there. Okay, this doesn't make as much sense since we're not. Okay, in order to make this make a little bit more sense, let's drop a warrior and then Casamara. We're not using the warrior, but I'm hoping to just like get infects in their face that are kind of too much for them to deal with. We're not calling forth anything. We're definitely saving it though. Um, it's a shame we can't damage Daemar. It could bite us. It'll be fine. All right, nice. Take that. Oh, and we get to blood throw. Awesome. Monster. What? What is game? Okay. Monstrosity and Daemar seems dash EV. What does that mean? I don't know what EV means. I'm sorry. Tell me. Tell me. Oh my god. No. No. Feels bad. Um, I just got a message. Do you feel a monster coming? I sure might. As it happens, I sure might. Do we hold the priest at this point? I think we do. We're almost out of priests. Do we hold the cultist? Honestly, I kind of want to as well. I mean, I know we get to play more warriors if I don't. And we have so many cultists. If I don't draw anyone, I feel bad. Expected value. It's saying is saying a play is negative, but it was a mistake. Oh, is monstrosities into Daemar seems negative EV. So worse than so monstrosity is worse against Daemar. I always forget Daemar has servants. Yeah, it's only like half the deck. um uh yeah, that's I mean I was just like, yeah, just I'll just throw some servants over there. And now it's like you almost don't want to play it because you just want to like get normal infect. The beast is better. Um They said perhaps a monstrosity, or was it a bluff? Vlox says to me. We 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 shall see. Feel free to bluff it. I don't care. I played around it anyway. You got me to not put Casamara up there, and now Casamara is doing whatever the heck down there. Yeah, I guess I didn't really necessarily need that priest over there, did I? Because as long as I'm infecting that square, we have another convert this game, right? Yeah. We're starting to overrun. That's sort of our job. I mean, I feel like part of this, and I'm definitely learning how little I know about the Fallen Kingdom Fungal Dwarves matchup. Speaking of which, now I'm thinking, at least thank goodness, thank you for waiting to take your turns, Elkanella. I am struggling in League this season. I'm realizing like it's a really weird matchup. But I feel like as Fallen Kingdom, you're just aggressive as heck in trying to get infects as much as you can. They say any reason why I can't play Monstrosity. Uh, you can't play Monstrosity right now? That doesn't make any sense. Uh, Vlox says can't play Monstrosity. What? Doesn't really? Anyone know why Vlox wouldn't be able to play Monstrosity right now? They say they already reloaded the page. That doesn't make any sense. He should be. Yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't reload again. Maybe you got to enable attacking friendly units. That shouldn't matter. Or you can hear my loud ass keyboard. Um, not I have a screenshot of not green. That does in fact look not green. Maybe he can't emotionally play monstrosity. Um, that is weird. Um, let me. Okay, I don't really have this set up to show you, but a little bit you can see. There you go. Not green. Not green. Why isn't it green? Why isn't it green? I guess bug report and remake. I guess it's a bug. That doesn't make any sense. I've never had that before. Maybe that's a new bug. Um, hey, how's it going? Another bug. Did we, what was the previous bug? Do we gotta, all right, I'll dial up Joe, everyone. I'll show, we think it's a bug. We think it's a bug right now. You hearing me, Vox? We don't, we don't know what's up with that. That doesn't, do you wanna, well now I wanna see. Okay, you know what, I wanna test this. That's a really weird bug for Joe to accidentally introduce. Like, I don't put it past him. I definitely believe he is capable of this. Oh God, no! Why do you display sounds? Stop. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Um, to do. All right, we're getting to the bottom of this. The game's derailed. We can just chat. Do you wanna here? Vox, you're welcome to jump back in the voice call if you want, and figure it out. See, okay, I'm not looking too close. I see that it's not green. There's no reason that shouldn't be green. That's ridiculous. Here, I want to test another game of it. Hey, how's it going? One second. I'm not hearing you. Is there a reason? Oh, I think you're muted right now. That's why I can't hear you. Oh my God. All right, we're getting to the bottom of this. Don't worry. And by getting to the bottom of this, I mean I'm testing it because I need to. I think you're still, if you're on desktop blocks, like the bottom left hand side, you can see like you can unmute. There's like it's a little bit hard to see. Oh,
Hey, sorry
there you
about
go.
that, everybody.
No, you're good.
I'm genuinely confused. Like,
That
oh,
doesn't.
am I missing a mechanic I did not understand?
No, you're
Uh,
definitely like you're definitely not. You're at 3 magic. I don't understand either.
I don't know that Monstrosity would fix anything for me in my situation, but
Well, that's still ridiculous.
I'm curious. I mean, I could step through the JavaScript. That would be a whole fiasco.
I'm sure Joe can fix it in a second. I'm curious if I can reproduce it. And now I'm trying to log in on another account. Oh my god, which I clearly like forgot the password to. This is what the hell? Oh wait, no, I don't need to know the password. Wait, yes I do. Um, how you? Yeah, how you feeling about this matchup so far?
Well, I've just about only lost on this matchup, which is specifically why I wanted to play it, so I could just figure out, kind of tailor in what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
the the cultists seem to find their way in, to out macro me in certain situations where I feel like the fungal have that infinite loop. Um, Hold on, give me a second here, just for my audio.
yeah. And I'm here. I'm sending a link in this Discord chat, but just ignore that. I'm just accepting for myself.
Oh, not exactly sure what happened here.
We're bug fixing. It's good to chat anyway. Just
Yeah.
taking a little break in between. I mean, we could just call it a bug and move on, but now I'm determined.
No, yeah, I'm more curious than I am. I don't care about winning, obviously.
Well, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really gonna
Yeah.
email. How do I not know any of my passwords?
I have, yeah, my audio completely moved into crackles. Um,
You say you feel
Let
like
me
you have
grab
an
my
audio?
AirPods. I'll be right back in a
Okay.
couple of seconds here.
All right. Clearly, I don't. Yeah, I guess the update had some unforeseen breaks. Yeah, Joe, you ruined everything. What's going on there? Um, how? Let me. Yeah, we're just gonna chill for a little bit. Let's figure this out. I need to figure out my damn password.
Shoot. Yeah, this was the fear. Okay.
Oh, figured out my.
Oh, is everybody else's audio fine? I feel like it's just mine.
Is it audio sounds weird to you?
I
Here, let
Yeah,
me leave and
it's got to
rejoin.
be just on my end. I'm
Let me leave and
convinced.
rejoin the call real quick. Any better?
Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's clear now.
It's clear
Sweet.
now? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Was anyone on stream here? Maybe Discord messed up my audio. I assume someone on stream would have said. Wait, has my audio been any weird on
Yeah, that's
stream? Anyone
exact.
hearing it?
I
I
don't
just
think it was weird until I joined, so this has got to be something a little bit more complicated than
but
just either of
something
ours.
just
But I hear you click crystal now.
something just on
Okay.
Discord, I guess. And you were listening to me
Yeah.
on the stream too, yeah.
I
Um,
joined once I was completely befuddled that I couldn't play Monstrosity at this point. That was the whole plan in my play. Um, this is peculiar. Um,
it sure is. Let me. Okay, I've made a game against myself over here on stream. Here we're
sure.
testing this.
Oh, I'll
We're
come
t-
over. Yeah.
we're testing this on our own, figuring out, being the change we want to see, etc. Um,
Hmm. Well, I imagine Monstrosity can still be played in some situations because, well, I know that I haven't played him today, but I've used Monstrosity in another game today.
In another game today,
Um,
you have.
Yeah,
So then what the
yeah.
heck would
Well,
have?
I've used him. I haven't summoned him today. I don't think so. That's different. Whatever the summoning requirements are,
Yeah.
could have been messed up.
Oh, I pressed move on when I shouldn't have. Fine. All right, we're doing it. I'm playing game on this other stream. I got off stream for a minute. What's happening? Don't worry about it. Okay, this is how the high end Summoner Wars is made. You wouldn't get it.
I'll send it here to
Yeah, it's
Quixote Crusaders. Wondering, that's my buddy.
yeah.
Okay.
We're investigating a bug, seeing if it's across all situations. Of course, in both these games, it's taken me forever to draw monstrosity. I guess I should like play a shaman or something. We're having fun. We're bug fixing. It's great. Joe, the bug that we had earlier, I emailed Joe about it. There was like a bug in real time games not updating. And Joe fixed it, like in a matter of hours or something. Like he emailed me back right away and was like
That's pretty wild.
looking at it. Yeah, Joe's great. He's always on the case. I've not drawn monstrosity in either of these games. Oh. What else? So what else has been going on with you? What other decks did you say you were playing? Or-
So I feel like what I've been grinding is kind of the Phoenix Elves more than anything. I'm obsessed with the birds.
Yeah,
I think that they seem like they're just dive in, hit as hard as you can, and um, lose or make the hits that you need to take out the units that you need to. It's a little bit more involved. The thought process behind some of the configurations that you do when you are setting up too is just beautiful. So I love I love the birds, the Phoenix Elves,
yeah,
um, and the Fungal Dwarves. I thought were just like the perfect matchup against another econ deck. Just kind of straight up send units face to face and try and outlast with the cultists. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of what I've been grinding. I like it. Um, I I don't find much fun in playing the same two decks back and forth over and over. With what you see kind of in the meta right now is everybody's trying to figure it out. So I'm giving in my own head people the opportunity to play against decks that have established themselves and learn how to play against those. Um, yeah.
yeah. Seems
So
cool. So,
what about for
but
your queue?
so
What do you end up queuing up as? Is it
also
just
also
like
sorry. You said
yeah?
Sky Spearavians are the Sky Spearavians and Fungal
Yes.
Dwarves. You feel like you're focusing on more on most these days, even though
Uh,
you don't like to do the same two
yeah,
over and over again. It's sort of
for
settling on
sure.
those two.
I've played I played the order the Crimson Order. I played Mountain of Argath, maybe like 3 games each, probably max, and gotten a feel for it enough that I could understand the events, understand the units, and adapt what I understand about those into how can I play against them with the decks that are working well for me right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's see.
yeah, it makes sense. It's fun to. Are there other decks you feel like you've gone in and out of phases with?
Totally, totally. I mean, my name is Vlox, so I kind of got obsessive about the cloaks, and I love the cloaks. Those are my first love. That's what pulled me into the game and made
Yeah,
me question the complexity of the game as a totality.
yeah,
Uh, they even in the game we played last stream, looking back on it and hearing the decision making that you were thinking of, despite it being a pretty quick game, was the exact reason why I fell in love with Summoner Wars as a whole. There's so many choices that you can make, and there's no guarantee that the choice that you're gonna make is is the best one.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
they they open up a world of possibility, and exploring those possibilities is what I hope that other people playing the game think about themselves too. Is that it's not just pushing units in a direction and hoping that you roll dice well. It's more it's more complicated than that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more. And sorry to interrupt, but we've done it. We've
please.
recreated the problem.
Oh,
I'm
let's see.
sitting here with monstrosity in hand, and it's not green. Well, time to report
Okay.
the bug and accept FD can't be. This is so. If now is the time to counter QFD. See, it's funny because I like my
Sure.
league games are wrapping up, so hopefully Joe gets on this quick. Super
Yeah.
necessary I couldn't have just like taken your word for it. I had to
I
reproduce
know.
the bug
Yes.
myself.
Well,
Make
that was
sure.
an easy out for me if I was just faking that I had monstrosity.
That's really, yeah, I can't play monstrosity. I guess we'll just call it a tie.
Whoa.
Let me, I'm gonna
Yeah.
email Joe right now because
Sure.
I don't know. Just, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize it was a monstrosity can't be played at all.
I mean, it maybe there's a like
Mm.
we click on it, they've just like swiped errata, and now it takes 15 boosts in order to play.
I I was wondering if it had to have 5 health, which would be a weird constraint, but it's possible. I summoned monstrosity after the update with the Crimson Order and Mountain Vargath, so um, I haven't keeping a track of the change log, but who knows? I don't even know if that's public information whenever they push an update.
Is what public information? Sorry.
Yeah. So if they're you have a version of the application, you have major versions where you push out things, maybe significant bug changes. It could be uh, introductions of complete new factions. The way that they version it is slightly different, at least in the naming convention, from some of the minor updates where they might make small changes, small defects, or um,
Yeah.
visual updates. Those types of things are at least in development through the same pipeline, but the way that they're introduced to the community might not be public information always. I suspect that Joe will make a change for this, and we're not going to have a big uh, update in terms of either the Discord or through the application itself that this was fixed. It just depends. It's
Yeah.
one person fixing all these things.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes he'll give fixes. Like I'm curious, did he like he'll say fixes, like for instance, I emailed him something about it used to be that or like there was a thing where mimic if you mimicked RAM, you could still use it even though by like the current way things are ruled, you shouldn't be able to because RAM is also at the start of the move phase, so you've missed your trigger. So he fixed that and he mentioned that he also fixed the private game duplication issue that Iridium and I
Oh,
found.
that we bumped
Why am
into.
I guess I'm
I think
just
the other time. Yeah.
Joe must be so sick of seeing emails from me. And then there was a bug earlier today that I emailed him about where real-time games weren't working. Or like they
Interesting.
weren't updating, and he fixed that, and now I'm emailing him again. Poor Joe. But it seems like he'll just try to get a can't summon in single player as well. It's been proven.
Yeah.
Poor
Okay.
Joe, overworked. Well, we'll just
What do
call
you think that changed that would
we'll
have
just call it.
affected
I have
monstrosity?
no
I mean,
idea. I have no idea. That's really weird.
it had to have been something under the radar related to the fungal dwarves that, though at least as far as I could tell from the JavaScript, these things are segmented usually by keywords. Um, the boost mechanics or uh, the summoning mechanics are all broken up by the variable names. Um, I'm just fascinated by the design in and of itself that they figured out how to do this in a browser.
Yeah, I'm sure I would love to hear Joe talk about it. Um, there is. I mean, you seem to know what you're chatting about when it comes to
Well,
this
I
stuff.
found another bug in that regard that I was hoping to talk with you about as
Yeah.
well, if you
Uh-oh.
want to call it a bug.
Let's hear it.
So, as of right now, with the way that the JavaScript is configured and the way that they construct the JSON associated with what Joe or Colby is called player stuff,
Sorry,
which is the
I just have to
totality of
laugh at your
yeah,
friend in chat.
it's
Fix the bug where players are able to summon monstrosity. That's really... Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, guys, we finally
yeah. You
fixed
know
fungal
what?
dwarfs.
We don't need them.
Wanted
The
you've been
Fungabunga,
asking for
we're
this
fine
for
without
years. Okay, sorry, I'm listening
we
again. What's
yeah. No. I found the way that the JSON is constructed such that you can tell whether or not a person has events in their hand. So at
you a
least where it's at
hacker?
right now, I'm a hacker. No,
No, no, no.
no.
I'm
I'm
just
a
making fun of
software
you.
engineer.
No, 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 no. I mean, it's really good for you to
Yeah.
find this stuff that tells it. No, tell. So sorry. Tell me
No.
more.
Yeah. So JSON is just a way of exporting data through JavaScript
Uh-huh.
to either send data or receive it. And based off the way that they order the elements in it, it tells you something about it. And I mapped that looking at somebody's hand, all of the cards are secret, but the way that they're ordered is configured in a way that informs you about what they have.
Oh
So
my
you can
goodness.
deterministically tell that somebody has events in their hands based off of the ordering of the JSON when you're inspecting it. And I was hoping to tell Joe that I could tell you how many events that you have in your hand. I can't tell you what they are, but I was able to figure out the mechanism to at least know for a fact that you have at least one or two events in your hand that you had
In in in
originally had in your deck. Yeah,
in that previous turn there. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I
Well,
can.
I'm not looking at it like as I'm playing, but I was curious to know for the design in and of itself, to what degree that do you have the knowledge with a web application that these things are exposed? And for my own personal like credit, I just wanted to be able to show are my skills adept enough to be able to identify that, and two, if I brought that to the table, would that bring me the credibility such that that I could improve it or have a role within the application in and of itself,
Uh,
maybe going forward.
you know, I mean, there was something.
Yeah,
This is like long time news and whatnot, but I definitely remember at some point they said that like they were looking for someone to like get or someone to assist Joe as like someone who would like
yeah.
understand it would be like a it would be a part-time job that wouldn't be permanent and whatnot, but they wanted someone to
No,
help out. I
I have a
yeah,
full time position, so I was just if you have any pet projects or things that you're working on,
yeah.
I'd love to fill that spot. I have a pretty good understanding of the structure of the application, the way things that are configured and how they completely through the design hidden away the things that you would be able to see from the back end just through your Chrome inspect tool.
Yeah.
How do they hide to make sure that you don't know what your opponent's cards are? Because
I am
I find that fascinating.
yeah. I am sure Joe would love to chat with you. Have you sent any sort of email to him about this?
I
Um,
sent one earlier this week, and I assume, well, first of all, I'm new-ish to the community, so I don't expect a response. But I thought if I could find something then that would establish that I at
yeah.
least know what I'm talking about.
No, no. Well, I mean, if you,
Yeah,
did you email the Summoner War bugs at
I
plaidhat.games or
I
plaidhat,
emailed Joe directly,
which is
so
yeah. I mean,
I'm not
it's
sure what the best route.
no, it's the
Yeah,
same thing. I think the Summoner War bugs just redirects his email. Um,
sure.
yeah. If you, I mean, hopefully he'd respond. Yeah, because if you're if you're finding stuff like that, that is definitely something that should
Yeah,
be fixed. And I mean, it's a good thing our community is small enough that like I mean, everyone sort of plays in good faith, and so if we find something like that, Joe can go fix
Totally.
it, and it's not gonna like break the game for a while. I mean, even something like that, I doubt it would, but yeah, that is good for. I
It's such a
definitely
minor
want
thing for
Joe
me
to
to find
have that
though. Out.
information. Well, but like I mean, that does, like you said, that does
Yeah.
open the door to like, are there other things? How do we how do we keep the game secure as we go forward? You think there'd be other sorts of information you'd be able to get access to that you're not supposed
I
to?
would think so too. It's designed for the most part. It's beautiful. It's designed so well. They knew that people would try to do exactly what I'm doing. They've thought about it all along the way and probably changed things um, to make it such that you can't tell um, what cards that a person has to every single degree. Um, you usually think about an object in software engineering as having an identifier, but that identifier changes from the deck. It gets a new identifier from when you draw it, and it gets a new identifier from when you play it. So every step along the way, all server side, it's manipulating these things to be abstracted so that you can't tell what's changed from the deck to your hand. It's all been thought through. So this is about all that I could find personally. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
really kudos to the developers. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Um,
well, I guess that's a good
and I
sign. Yeah,
yeah
if that's all you've been able to peek at, that's super cool that you have the
yeah.
skills there to look at that and to help out. I sure do not. It's a bunch
Um,
of bunch of gobbledygook when I hit inspect element. I know enough to be able to steal the images so I can use them in my thumbnails, uh, but nothing more than that.
yeah. Well, that IP should at least be I would think available to some degree, as long as you're not making money off of it,
Yeah, I assume
which
I haven't.
to some
I,
degree maybe.
I I should probably ask them at some point, but like they've been they seem very chill about like content creators and like using stuff like that. So I definitely I'll definitely like run it by them.
Sure.
I imagine.
Well, that's too bad on the phone. I was about to roll you over with monstrosity, so that's a
No,
shame.
for sure. Well, we can just consider that one your victory, I guess.
Oh, I don't want that victory. No,
No,
I need a real victory against you outside
that's
of async.
that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because yeah, it'd be an interesting game to. I mean, we could just like pretend that that's monstrosity. It's not gonna work.
I don't know how to take that all the way.
Uh,
Um,
it would be complicated. We'd have to just like pretend that a monstrosity exists, and I'll attack it, and then like if it ever dies, I'll start
then
rolling
what? Yeah.
dice in person. It doesn't work. We should just call this game. Um,
I,
uh,
cool.
it's
Well,
definitely
you know
like
what?
it's a very interesting matchup. A lot going
I
on.
have a game going. What's the longest game that you can think of for turn order? Do you
Um,
have off the top of your head even an approximation
I
of
mean, it would probably be a Fungal Dwarfs game, or like and someone else that like also thinks they can win the econ game against Fungal Dwarves. So it just like and a game like that comes down to the last few units. So um, I would
um,
think Fungal Dwarves versus Polar Dwarves. So I could see other ones.
I have a game that's seemingly not going to end with the
Yeah.
Crimson Order,
Oh, really interesting.
which they hung on to converts and to the Crimson Order champion that brings back cultists.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at a like a wall where the Crimson Order units that have devotion continue to roll into their crits and come back at some point or another. We're going on over 20 turns back and forth,
That's
uh,
crazy. Yeah.
which I didn't even realize was a possibility in the game. It's the longest game
That's funny. Have you had
I've seen.
games
Yeah,
where like both people are out of their deck and like all the units are gone on the board and it's down to just like the last like summoners in the like if you
never.
never
No.
yeah there's
Yeah.
I mean that's a true econ game. That's a game that comes to and a lot of like normally games don't do that because like I mean, someone is usually winning by enough that it doesn't come down to the last few
Yes.
units, or the other person recognizes that they're losing, and so they like go for an assassination or something. But sometimes when it's close, both people will go down all the way, and that's my type of games. I love econ games like that.
I think it's beautiful. Yeah, it literally goes down to the wire. Uh, ends up being not just that both players are matched perfectly, but the roles end up working as such. Um, Sometimes part of me is looking for that quick game, have some resolution. Oh, I made the right decisions.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Oh, what you sent me, I think might have been a game invite link.
I sent
Uh,
you me as a Phoenix Elves
oh, I see.
game.
I got error joining none. Joe, fix your app. Is there supposed to be a
I'm gonna get it
backslash
from.
at the end of it? Is that wrong?
Hmm.
Nope, there's not. There we go. I
You
fixed
would
it.
think it'd be a forward slash.
I got rid of the slash at the end, and
Yeah.
now I have an invite link. You want to take on my Crimson Order again?
Sure. Yeah.
I
Although I
can't.
feel like this is a tough matchup as well. I think Crimson Order is very
It
good.
is well. They keep no. I'm happy to play something else too. Well, people have been talking about that in the Discord streaming channel. Sorry, I gotta check something else too. Yeah, people are talking about it in the content streaming channel. The people because I think Purse Warden is playing Phoenix Elves um in the newest scuffle. They assumed it'd be a tough matchup, and then Watered came out saying they think it's in favor of PE, and some other people, yeah, and then
Hmm.
Redacted also. I don't know. So people are debating it. Lots of debates to be had. Vargath, you guys, you want to
Yeah.
see Vargath versus PE?
Well, let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. All
I
right.
like that matchup. That's a little bit more interesting to me.
I guess I'll
Did
play.
that link actually work, or should I start a new one?
No, no, it did. Here, I don't. I have it up on stream. Don't look at that.
Sweet. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, good stuff. You wanna get this one going?
I'll, yep. I'll go ahead and drop.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I'll
I'll
catch you after.
be here later. Yeah, see ya.
All right. Best of luck, Ben. Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to think. You're making me play the Vargas. I can't just play the Swarm faction. It really does feel like cave goblins, but I'm a vampire. Now I gotta think. Like faction involves units and thinking, and it sucks. Basically, it sucks when I have to think. Yeah, the Crimson Order just like they're like what they're trying to do just seems so obvious and just like easy to execute on a turn to turn thing. These guys don't seem so easy. It's like how do you win? You got to set up a good position. How do you do that? Seems tough. Seems tough. We're gonna get there though. Definitely Phoenix Elves. I mean, I think we'll probably be on the aggressive. We can probably set things up in the way that we'd like to. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. We're gonna get it done. Yeah, using the fighters, I feel like will be important. Like just figuring out how to get the most value out of like the positional stuff. It will be good. Interesting. Gate. I probably will take that bait and occupy it. No, I don't think I will. It's this faction. Um, interesting. Um, oh, don't know what to do here. Let's just play. Ram goes up there. It pushes us. in range of some things, it'll be good. Yeah, totally. Totally. Totally, totally, totally. Get another gate in. See, this is like new faction to me. Ramming advance, it's gone. I don't know how to use it. Definitely believe it's strong, but I guess I could have charged Sundervet up. No, it wouldn't have worked to charge him up a bunch of spaces. So like new faction, I don't know what to do with the cards. They're gone. First champion, gone. Easy. And then we go from there. If I don't play an event on, if I don't play an event on a turn that I have it, it's gone. And that doesn't mean that's like the correct play. Probably involves holding events more, but I don't know what to do with them, and I do know what to do with a lot of magic. So that's sort of my default way to play a faction I am new to that I don't know what I'm doing with. I wonder, do you think lowering the saturation would be better here? I guess I'll learn more about it later. What if I? Oh, is this point? Is it too dark? Like, are the colors a lot less interesting than you feel like they should be? Just I lowered the saturation like 20 points here. Still looks green still looks kind of green, as opposed to like this is what it would be. More saturation. Looks kind of dull, right? Like, I don't know if that's actually good. Here, I'm gonna try it here and tell me what you think. We're figuring out how to use capture cards. Meanwhile, they took a turn. Isn't that funny? Um, um, no cheap tricks, just good. Yeah, like I gotta play the game or something. So mean. It's a shame we can't ram the Ember. We didn't draw a Brute. Brute would be great here. We could just play two Glory Callers. Honestly, I think I will. Lol. I repeat, LOL. Um, um, Start of turn. Oh, I can't ram units adjacent to Maul. No. Ah. All right, never mind. It was a good try. um. Oh, let's push that up there a little bit. And no ram. Sadness. Do I want to have something else sitting here to also attack it? I feel like I want something. Um, Maybe like a fighter with a collar here. I don't know, just like a big unit that's not gonna hit things. Um, here, and let's just get up there. Good stuff. And we'll just beat up on the guard. Attack with the guy with less dice first on the mage, and then we'll roll two specials. Dang it. I still don't know what I'm doing. I could retreat a little bit. I don't really see a reason to. Um, I'm gonna play a big lizard, and then we're gonna win. All right, that's the strategy. Big lizard equals winning. Uh, and yeah, that is like it's just like these cards. I don't really know what to do with them. None of them seem immediately incredibly strong. Let's just get a ton of magic and try to steamroll. And that's sort of what I do with Grognak as well. It's just like, well, stuff's pretty vanilla. Let's just try to steamroll them. But we got good stats, and I guess that's what you're doing with Sundervid. Is just the steamroll plan. We got a gate now. Like if I had had a gate that other time, maybe I could have used Stronghold. Like I see clever uses of Stronghold. It just like makes me think. And who wants that? Who wants to have to think? Ooh. Killing that fighter with the mage. It's good. The brute and the collar is good, but unfortunately, well, um, no, it's only if we force the target that we get the ram bonus. That's unfortunate. See what they call. You probably call the guard because it's easier for me to kill. Call the mage. What, we got a flare or something? It's a shame ram has to be adjacent to kill. Okay, I mean, I'll probably just use a brute to kill this. Might as well. Um, do I want to just put a gate here? I mean, maybe I don't need to bother using a brute to kill it. I don't know. It seems good, right? It really it does seem excessive. But it lets us use our moves a bit more. Um, we got battle leader too. I don't really see a reason to use that. Um, let's expose the glory collar actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, the brutes are like sort of every the brutes are the good part of the deck. So I guess maybe the goal on the stack is get your brutes close to the enemy. 3/5s are good. Get them get them there. Get them up there. That makes sense. I can get behind that. We've discarded so many slingers, despite the fact that they are patently good. Huh, wait, do we want to play a slinger this turn, actually? Now that I'm, like, thinking about it for more than a second? This totally is a slinger turn, right? Um, do I want to use Battle Leader just to get in there a little bit more? Screw it. Why not? Gotta play the cards, right? Gotta make him do something. All right. So we're playing Battle Leader. Moving up. 1, 2, 3. It's only 2 dice because Sundervid isn't there. We really just don't need to be there. We could just stay there and put a gate there. I say so many theirs, but yeah, let's just do that then. If we don't need to be super aggressive, I guess we don't. I guess we don't need to be. Well, actually, we're doing everything else the same. We're just not playing Battle Leader. And play the gate. Play the collar, and we get to shoot Maul. That's awesome. Boom. Epic. And let's get 2 on 5. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I kind of want to hold Battle Leader. Like, I feel like I could very easily use it this next turn. But I got a lot of other cards that are also good. And maybe I wouldn't use it next turn. I don't know. I'm gonna discard it to be safe. And oh my goodness. Okay. Glad I discarded it. What the heck? Well, we got two champs in here still. Barn costs 5. Barn seems very good. Um, the unit within 2 and place it adjacent. Good stuff. It's funny that with Joe, the most recent patch caused so many bugs. You wouldn't expect it. You can assassinate my slinger. It's kind of mean. Wouldn't, wouldn't recommend it. And like the glory collar, I mean, hey, it's I don't know. All the units are good stats. I mean, it really is a Grognak strategy when you're just like, hey, your units are great stats when they're in range of Sundervid. Make them in range of Sundervid, okay? And then it's like, okay, yeah, I can buy that strategy. Wow, we just have one of every event in our hand. That's not overwhelming at all. If we had had a stronghold last turn to like place a bunch adjacent to that gate, that would have been fun. They know that stay passive with Mal strat, and I respect it deeply. Um, Martial forces, yeah, it's not looking great for us. Or like them playing passive like this definitely plays to our weaknesses. Um, I don't really see how we're gonna use stronghold. I think we would just go on heavy discards. Time. The brutes being so slow is such a downside. It's a very interesting deck concept of just like, yeah, your units are kind of bad, but your summoner makes them kind of good. So like, well, I I'm a fan. Uh, we got a message from them. Visual glitch. Uh-oh. Joe, fix your game. Ugh. Oh, and maybe they didn't see the gate or something. That makes sense. I mean, it's not a great spot for a mage since I'm just gonna ram it. Honestly, yeah, it's kind of the worst spot you want to put a mage. But I can respect it. Because you're probably pulling that archer. I guess you can pull the mage, but that archer is just a sit and duck. Yeah, using ramming advance just seems hard, right? You pull the mage, okay. I mean, I guess, and I guess, I mean, when I look at it, it's like, yeah, okay, it's not free to just play this card. So how could I possibly use these events to do good things? Anyone see anything? I guess I'll try to clear this lane at the end of the turn. Okay, that's a good goal. Hmm. I was thinking of going like this. Um, but I wonder. I mean, and then just summoning a slinger here. But I do need to kill this at some point, right? Um, we could marshal forces. The slinger. What's martial forces? A guy within 3. Um, we could avoid the archer. We could go 1, 2, summon, 3, attack. I don't know how we're marshaling this guy, but somehow we marshal this guy up there. Cool gates I have Vlox. Yeah, definitely interesting. Just like holding off my position over there. I was thinking of trying to marshal a second slinger in here to attack Moldaria. Um, this seems a little bit tough. So maybe we only get 1 attack in. Martial forces seems very strong, so I'm probably keeping that, but I don't know about anything else that I need to hold, really. Um, yeah, that's pretty weak. Pretty weak turn for. I'm not doing that much there, but that's okay. Um, I mean, I could hold it and marshal a second thing in there. Yeah, what's the point though? I don't like how Sundervad is exposed with this though, honestly. So I'd kind of rather. Oh, I guess we're shooting the archer with that. I don't know. I guess we just like don't move anything. Surely that's wrong. I mean, I guess this is fine. It feels a little bad. Feels a little weird, but that's okay. Wow, we're gonna have a lot of magic. Okay. Well, that's mega punished for being like, oh, 5 out of 6, that'll be fine. It was not fine. And then the idea is, I mean, maybe I want the slinger back where I can still use them, though. I mean, maybe I just don't want the collar to exist anymore. Um, yeah, seems good. I'm gonna hold on to martial forces, but not battle leader, even though I might regret it. So we've discarded a lot now, but we got the big boys, and we still got a lot of magic in our deck since we have so many brutes. We have some glory colors to synergize with them. We're behind by a fair few cards, but hopefully Toradin can carry us to victory or something. We'll have to see. And the beast comes down, so that would have been a reason to hold on to. That's really strong. Hold on to my card that gives my summoner an extra attack if I think they're going to go big down this lane. I was sort of hoping they weren't. I was clearly wrong. Honestly, I feel like you go at the slinger and the archer attack soon, David, for the 2 direct. I guess that's a pretty decent kill, too. We got 2 different martial forces. This can target any unit. Interesting. For a friendly unit, that is. Not sure if Toradin's going to carry us to victory, if I'm being honest, but we're gonna do our best here. I don't even know if it's the play right away. a little bit tough to use. All right, let's see it. So maybe Sundervid kills the beast and then calls a slinger. That could be good. Maybe Torridon just goes all the way over there. That wasn't my plan, but like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Um, I was thinking of calling a slinger after killing the beast and just like ending with Torridon here. Or trampling on the archer a little bit. But it seems good to go all the way up there. Problem is we just don't have our units just aren't beefy enough right now to deal with this sort of thing. I don't really want to send Torridon just to like keep eating Maldaria dice forever. I kind of want to be chilling on this lane with Torridon. Um, we don't want to attack anything right now. Okay, honestly, if we take a passive turn and don't attack, I'm not mad about it. So maybe that's the play. Ram. Oh, I guess this would have to. No, this play would involve going up there, which I'm not the hugest fan of. But otherwise, I'd have to attack the archer to kill it, which I'm also not a huge fan of. Hmm. I mean, maybe Torridon just takes 2 damage here and sits here, and that's fine. How are we dealing with this beast? I mean, I kind of want to like summon something to deal with it. I mean, why don't I just summon a brute? I mean, we just showed them I had Torridon, but that's pretty good. I don't know. If only I could summon something else to cover for Sunderved. Um, like just if only I had like a glory collar in hand that I could just summon to sit here and tank dice for Sundervid. I guess Sundervid will just sort of die. That's fine. We'll move some things up, I guess. Is there a world where we want to just break this gate? I feel like there is not, which is a little unfortunate for us. Cause what's the point here? We gotta marshal something there, right? We we can't not. Um, right? Like we do just gotta get in there. Even if it's just the glory collar. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well that's not ideal. I guess that is more likely than you would think. That's very bad. That's very bad. That's very bad. Honestly, I might hold on to the other martial forces. Even though another one magic would be really good, I'm gonna hold it. We'll be fine. That's a lot of extra dice on Cinderbed from that miss. I guess for that reason, it would have been good to just bring the slinger up a spot. Um, I don't know. I was just banking on those dice there, I guess. If I have any other turns. Gotta watch the clock on my league games. Oh, it's so bad. We're getting destroyed. They're coming in. Yeah, just that amount of damage on Sundervet is not what we want. I mean, Maldaria struggles to assassinate, so we're gonna be fine, but still not what we want. Torden can big trample the mage. Look at all that damage. It's so nasty. Yeah, do it again. I'm not a fan. Fan. But Torden just like holding down a middle lane would be pretty nice. Like climb and trample is pretty nasty. That can dish out a lot of damage. So we're gonna hope for the best. Boom. Boom. And boom. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna rely on another 4 on 3 because I continue to believe. I mean, it'd be real nice to ram this guy over there, right? And then, I mean, we could just walk on. We just waltz on through everything, just kill everything. Um, oh, Torden can go through structures, can't he? Um, yeah, we can kill everything in the move phase with that, but I don't know if that gives us exactly what we want. I don't know, it's pretty good. It's hard to argue with kill everything. Oh, I was thinking I had a slinger or something that can attack this gate. I do want to attack that gate. Hmm. A little tough without attacking that gate, because I want to attack that gate. Um, keep planning to use this martial forces, and then keeps not happening. Only I'd put the slinger there, like I did in one of the iterations. I could just put a brute there. But then no Torden. And Torridon means good. Hmm. Yeah, this is very good positioning against us. Makes me quake in fear a little bit. Um, Maybe Torridon could go over here and break the gate. Yeah, it's just not great. Where this gate is right now. It just is not great. Um, well, we probably just got to do it. Probably don't have much of a choice. I mean, the brute could just do its thing, and then it's like, hey, at least all that we've got committed is a brute, and then they can go a little crazy. We keep putting off Torridon, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing a ton otherwise. Um, Maybe Sundervid. Maybe this Glory Caller. I mean, if this Glory Caller just doesn't exist, might as well put the Slinger over there. Um, all right, we are believing a little bit. Sundervid can do better. Easy. And easy. And martial forces. And get another attack. So we're just a little bit defended, at least. Like, we're chilling. We're sitting at 9. I think that's all we can afford to discard for now. It's gonna be a tight economy in this end. Um, yeah, I'll have to see. Sorry, I'm just looking at something funny in the Discord. Um, so something funny. I won't. Prophets posted something very funny. There's Varn. There he is. All right. Successfully not. This gate setup is very effective against me right now. That is wrecking me. I don't know what they're doing and how they're doing it, but it's playing around my threats very well. All right, what does Varn do? You just pull some boys. You got some boys, and now they're where you want them. Seems good. Seems good. I'm sold. The thing about Torridon is like Maldaria beats him up. We've discarded so heavy here, and I mean, I guess we've sort of we're on pace with Mal, so somehow it's ended up fine. But boy, have we discarded heavy this game. Okay, they might be in a bit of trouble here, though. Did we draw the glory collar? We did not. That's a little unfortunate, but we got some dice on Mal. That's all I care about in this day and age. It's a shame I don't have like the charge event. Probably use that. I mean, Barn could probably do something interesting to Mal. I don't know. Torridon says Torridon, though. That's the thing. And Torridon do good. Torridon win. I do very much want to break that gate now that I think about it. I was gonna go right here, but that gate is a problem. How many summoned Ember beast? Only 2 out of 4. But if I break that gate, now they can summon adjacent to Torridon, and that's a little bit of a problem, so yeah, I mean they can summon adjacent to that brute and kill it, and that sucks, but like I guess I just gotta accept that. That's a little bit suck. And that's fine. I mean, breaking the gate would give us magic too, though. It's a shame we can't just occupy it. I don't know. We're gonna punch Mal. It'll be great. And again, we suck. We suck. I think we're just gonna hope to hold for a while and not get punished. We're hoping Torridon can just win us here and single-handedly do the game. Yep, the beast does what the beast does best. Our slinger did not pay off. Might be looking at an L here. Very quickly getting through our resources, and if Torridon's gone, that's kind of the game. I think we might need to change to more of an assassin plan. I don't know. Torridon can kill the blocker. We can summon a slinger. I think they have another blinding, so that could be bad, but we'll have to see. Hopefully we can just get a bunch of magic real quick. We'll have to see. Blinding, and then spirits, and then divine protection, right? And then, well, while we're at it, so we've played one of every single event. Divine. Are we going adjacent to Maul and just going all out here? Is that all we got? Looks like it. We're not summoning anything. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I mean, where can Maul run from less? Is it better to be on the other side? It seems like I've trapped Mal a little bit better if I'm on the other side. But this way I do more damage. It seems easier for Mal to run. Right? Let's do it on this side. Sunderved kills the beast. Hopes to kill the brute. And then we pull something. This plan doesn't make sense. Sunderved dies. That's the plan. Sundervid tactfully dies, and then that's it. There is no plan. Torridon is overexposed. It's not great. That's all I got for you. Is it's not great. I don't know. Torridon is just gonna be chilling over there for a while. I guess the gate goes here. How are we not just dead? I don't know. Somehow, some way, somehow, we're gonna make it. Getting in there. Getting in there. Alright, now we got 2 magic for next turn. Do we need to summon something? Protect Sunderved? Nah, Sunderved's gonna die and it's gonna be great. I'm a fan. Do we want more magic? Nah. Playing the econ game. We're not playing the econ game. We're playing the kill Mal next turn or lose game. Martial forces. Yeah, but like martial what is the thing? I was planning on sending the slinger here, but I don't have enough attacks for that. Um, hoping I can get more use next turn, but it sure could have been good. I definitely see that. Maldaria over there is a bit of a beast. I'm probably gonna move like 2 spaces up with Cinderved and try to do something nasty. They're not really punishing Torden. And you know, big boy, big stomp. Alright. I don't see how you protect Mal in that situation. I guess a flare. You gotta kill Torden. It's gotta be a flare if that's the move, right? There's no way you want to just let Torden attack. I mean, I guess that's 8 dice. I guess if you think if maybe this is an 8 on 8 Ray, Blair deals with it pretty well though. Oh, now that's much more reasonable. I mean, the brute can just force out of the way. No, the brute can't force out of the way because that's not how brute works. Well, Sunderved can just get someone up to punch with martial forces, not with a flare though. All right, this will be huge. Eee. All right. You got it. I guess technically you should have done the other 2 attacks first. And solid. Wow, very good rolls. And we can't force that out of the way. Hmm. Hmm. If that was not an Ember Mage, we could just kill it with Sunderbed. But it is an Ember Mage, and so we have problems. Well, if I had 2 martial forces, I could still do it with like a slinger. Um, yeah, I don't think there's a way in there. That's unfortunate. We're pretty stuck. Through the gate. Oh, through the gate. Thanks for winning the game for me. You know, there's a decent chance I wouldn't see it. I'm not not running at maximum capacity here, to say the least. Yeah. I foresee it. That's not. Oh yeah, you just you pull a guy through the gate. Yeah, okay. No, your best. I see it. I see it. We're in there. We go here. This is pretty clever. Um, so this way now the slinger can attack and we can call forces. Pretty stonks. 6 dice. Yeah, that's what I see too. We found it. We found the water D play. Um, yep, yep. Easy, easy every time. And for the win. Well, thanks, chat. I might have seen it on my own. So sometimes you just have tunnel vision where like you just like oh you see that gate and you just assume it has infinite health and you're not really thinking about all the plays. GG. Um, letting him know that I had a little bit of help on that last one. Um, I probably need to call it. We'll see if they want to chat a little bit more. Um, Heyo.
Yo.
Uh,
um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I saw that coming too. Uh,
I didn't.
that was a close game though, because I had the Phoenix Retribution ready after that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, you had both. Oh, that'd be tough. Yeah,
I've been holding on to it, yeah, for that.
my
I didn't
my
know to play it
plays.
or not.
Yeah.
That would have been. I should have played it then.
You should have played it that last turn, you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. But would that even have changed things? Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't have stopped the kill. It could have I don't
No.
know. It was a tight position. Though like definitely if you got out of that, I think man, I don't know what your last cards were, but like it felt
It
like
was
I was in a
Phoenix
tricky spot.
Retribution, Finessa, and oh, let's see, maybe a flare.
Yeah, I mean maybe yeah, I guess that's tough. If you don't kill Sundervid, I guess because I still have Varn, and so I'm probably playing Varn and maybe even the Brute after it. But
Wait, how
it
much magic did you have left?
I have three.
Yeah,
That's
I was.
yeah
You were drowning in magic the whole game. I saw you at 8 magic, and I'm just waiting for the champ to come out.
yeah Torridon.
What's
That
his
that that
name?
was me just
Torden.
being
Torden
like
was gonna come out at some point.
yeah. That was me being like, it's a faction that I'm new to. I don't know what these cards do, but what I do know is that a lot of magic means I get to play a big lizard. And
I
so
mean, he
that
went
was the
out
game
quicker than I've
plan.
ever seen Torden go.
You mean he got killed quicker or he came
He
onto the
got
game?
killed quicker than I've ever seen him get killed. Like,
He sure did. Yeah, it was kind of a ride or die play. It
it
didn't.
cost me everything though to kill him.
Yeah, yeah,
At the end of the day, his health pool. I spent a burn on him. I mean,
yeah.
that's desperation from
Well,
the
that's the
Phoenix
thing. Yeah,
Elves spending a burn.
I wanted to have Torrid just like sort of walking around the midfield for a while and just like owning over there. Because like I don't just want to charge in and just like because yeah, like I'm
No,
seeing Mal with 4 dice and I'm like Torrid's dead in like 2 turns. Like and that's not good value. That's 8 magic. So
no.
I want to get a lot of trample, but
Two
somehow I ended
turns
up
my
charging in.
attention is just it's game changing.
Yeah. Mal, yeah, Mal
That
can
was a very
really.
good game. At least we had a good one where you didn't stomp me. So I was excited about that. Yeah.
It's tough. I mean like the
Yeah.
the aggro factions, and I think I were playing earlier with like Obsidian dwarves. Like when you lose to an aggro faction, it feels worse because it feels like a stomp. It feels like they just totally overrun you, and there's no chance. When probably in reality, it's not quite as bad as it seems because like that is their win con to overrun you. But like if you were able to hold off just a little bit more, like you would have been a lot finer than it looks. But that's just kind of
Sure.
how aggro factions tend to make you feel not good.
I'd like to think that the factions aren't so rudimentary. And in fact, you don't have to play a certain way with any faction outside of
Yeah,
the polarizing ones, like the fungal dwarves. They kind of lend themselves to. a type of play style.
Yeah.
Whereas the Vargath, I would like to believe that they can pull back, uh, leverage the slingers, um, use the events to protect themselves, and still continue to have that form of offense, at least to get the magic that they need. Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about
Oh,
slingers there?
that like I would like to think that they could pull back, leverage the slingers, gain the magic
Yeah.
they need, and then push back forward again
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah,
when they have it. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd refer to these guys as an aggro faction. And
No.
I mean, I mean, I've played 4 games with them, so I also don't know if I should be referring to them as anything. Um, but I mean, I'd agree with you that like most factions, I mean, every faction has multiple play styles. Some lean
Yeah,
towards one a lot, like Obsidian Dwarves, I think really lean towards aggro and cave goblins. Like, it is like it's a
that's
horde
clear.
victory. You want to overwhelm them. You have the tools to win in the econ, but it's still like you want a big horde, and I think that might be similar for Crimson Order, but that's again after
Mm.
like 10 games. So
I wanted to ask you just on a separate note. We can do
yeah,
the game analysis, but you had mentioned that um, you had finished school maybe recently, maybe not.
yeah, no,
What
recently.
recently? Okay. What fascinates you? What was your drive, at least with um your studies?
Oh,
Was it
interesting.
computer science or math? Like,
It was not. They're definitely like in another life.
hmm,
It ended up being like I did like a literature great books program where with like seminar style classes, and so like I
sure,
really just liked the sort of classes that we had there, and I like not being lectured at a by a teacher and just
sure,
sort of like
sure.
chatting about it. But like, yeah, I've always enjoyed math in high school. Like, yeah, I don't know, like, and as a
Hmm,
kid, I went to like lots of like coding classes and whatnot, but
sure.
somehow I ended up with like no coding skills whatsoever. I guess they were just bad
I
classes.
disagree.
I don't
Well,
know
at
how
least you
it's.
understand it if I'm talking to you and you understand at any degree what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you explain it well, I'll understand it. But like, I can't. You tell me
Yeah.
to make a program in a language, and
No.
I can't do anything. I'm sure. I mean, it's never too late to learn and
Yeah.
whatnot. But
No.
it's funny.
No.
But yeah, but you're into computer science. Sounds
Totally.
like, yeah,
But I'm also into. Well, I listen to my friends that love literature, and what the good literature is, what you need to read. That stuff
yeah,
fascinates me because it shaped everything that we know, um, in ways that are hard to see. Um,
yeah,
just like Quixote Crusader talks about Don Quixote as a literature that
yeah,
everybody should read. Yeah.
yeah. It's funny. I think
Um,
what Waterdees in chat. I think they'll describe themselves as I like to play games and talk about philosophy. Those are no, I think it's my I have two passions
yeah,
in life:
same.
games and philosophy. I forget how you phrased it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
I love games philosophy and writing guides for Summoner Wars. Those are
Yeah,
the three.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it is fun to think about.
Yeah. I'm really happy how that game went. You whiffed a couple hits that would have been terminal for me. Um, maybe one or two more, and it would have swung the other way.
Oh God, that
Yeah.
beast was so bad. When I got that 4-2 in that beast, I was like, all right, like
Yes.
good game.
No,
I
I
was
thought for
not.
sure that that was a lethal
I
miss.
was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, but
I'd like to see in hindsight if there was a way to navigate that. Um, if there was a way such that I could have played it where I could have taken advantage of that miss, gotten more damage, taken out some crucial units. Um, but the epic events, they take away. If I don't clean a unit out, it's getting pulled all the way to the back line,
yeah,
never to
that's
be
true.
seen again. So that
That
magic is lost, and that hurts so bad.
that's true. I don't think about
It's
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it too. So if you whiff that attack on a slinger, it's gonna haunt you the rest of the game. That alone it seems like a lethal miss
Yeah,
from any other
yeah, you
faction
miss
if
it.
you can't
Yeah,
clean up that unit.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I mean, overall, I would your play seemed very good, or like I just felt like I was in a tough spot. Like those two gates, like I'm not used to that first gate that you placed. I think that's your
Mm,
B3. I'm not used to that as Phoenix
yes.
Elves, but like me taking that down and then you placing that other gate, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm so exposed.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Where are
you
you gonna
didn't.
go?
Yeah, I guess like I didn't end
Yeah.
up getting too punished. I ended up just sort of letting myself be
No.
exposed, and I guess you didn't have that much juice, but like it still was like I'm just so exposed by these gate positions. And
Yeah.
that I was just really scared. So, Sundervid was not long for this world.
I was mana hungry almost the entire game of where I have the stuff to play. I don't have the juice. It's not there. Um, if I had the mana to take advantage of this, if I would have discarded heavier at the beginning,
Yeah.
as much as you did, it's curious. I remember looking at your discard pile and thinking, "You're oh geez, Ben's going for it. He,
Yeah.
he's thirsty at least to try and get out." Some of your champions at least.
Yeah.
Uh, what is he trying to get out once he's past 6 mana? He's trying to go for the the big boys here, which
Toward yeah, yeah. I feel like the more you play a
Torben, yeah,
faction, the more like you sort of start to
or
have the
Harm, yeah.
favorite commons. But like, I'm just looking at my cards with these guys, the Mountain Vargas, and I'm just like, none of these commons, like I'm not like, oh, that's the common that's good. That's the common that I want next turn. I'm like, these are all mid.
Mm,
They're all going in the bucket. I don't, well,
yeah,
and part of that's being new. But that also sort of might
sure.
just be sort of the run of the mill for Soondervid is like your commons are just kind of vanilla because your summoner is so freaking insane.
So good. It makes every common a top two.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd call the caller pretty mid in general. Um, Contingent on even Torden to be sorry, not Torden. Even Sundavir to be around for it to be a realistic unit to
yeah, for
attack with.
sure,
I
for
think he
sure.
swung at me with a collar for
It
one
missed. That was
and
so.
missed.
I was like, yeah, 5 out of 6,
Yeah,
easy, easy.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that
it
not.
misses. I'm like, how lucky can I get? And I still wasn't able to tweak it out.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yes, it's tough for sure. Yeah, and I guess I had the magic. It's funny. I discarded 10 cards. You discarded 8 cards. So I mean, maybe you
Mm.
picked up the pace at a certain point. Yeah, I don't know.
I picked it up a little bit too late, in my opinion. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just yeah, just throwing everything.
but there's this somebody sets the tempo, and then
Yeah,
you either adapt to it. And I'm not as interested in looking at the tool that looks at it to see how many cards that they discarded at each point. Looking at the outer HTML, it's more of a feeling thing because, and I'm not suggesting that you had done that. Just it, it's curious. Just like at each point, you can adapt to how they're playing or uh, do your own thing based off of what you're aiming for. Do I need to be able to pay for a 5 cost champion? Is
yeah,
that really what I need the next turn? Should
yeah,
I be discarding the same as them and keep up with their tempo? All the decision making along the way, it's just curious. What
yeah,
is the best thing to do? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, I was really excited to see Water D come back to being a part of the community again because
Woohoo!
he left, he or
We
she
love
left.
you, Watered.
We do.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Because I
they're
read
just
all the
busy for a
guides.
bit.
I've read every guide underneath
Yeah,
the website, the SW zone, and
yeah,
I've
yeah.
gone ahead and made my own too, and it's partially based off of the complexity and the ideas behind those. So I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, let's say, could I bug you in pulling up the guide and giving some suggestions on
Yeah,
how I
sure.
can
Yeah,
improve it?
I'll just be. I mean, it'll be top of my head, so nothing.
Okay.
Not nothing. Just thinking about it right
No, it's
now,
like
but
what
me.
are you looking for? Yeah.
Let me go for it. Got some critical feedback. Putting on my editor cap. My editor cap is not very. My
Yeah.
I'm not a very
I'll
good
fix like
writer.
the verbiage and
No,
whatnot. Yeah,
no.
just like what you would want based off of the criteria.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe I will pop this up in a different tab actually. Do. All right, let me see. Is that all on stream? Whoops. It's gonna go away. Okay, good. All right. I'm pulling up the guide on stream.
Cool.
Anything you want me to jump
Yeah.
to right
So
away?
I need to differentiate it between the existing guide. What does this guide provide that the existing one doesn't?
Yeah.
Um, I I do a in-depth unit analysis. How much does it cost to play a unit? What does it provide that the original guide didn't? And then to what degree should I provide the permutations of the individual units that doesn't already currently exist? Um, the the current guide describes the firing line, which I think is the beauty of the birds. They have the event that lets you attack through other flying units um, that already exist. Um,
Yeah.
to give you an idea of how much damage they can do in a single line. Um, I I'd like to say that it does a little bit more in depth describing the utility of the units. For example, the divers, like you're showcasing right now, they can do a damage to wherever they land, but that doesn't mean that you can't summon a second one to be able to take 2 damage out on a unit that's still left alive, which could
Yeah.
be the difference between you opening up a space on a gate or opening up a space where you do take your move phase and putting a unit there that is the difference between taking out a summoner or not. Um,
Yeah.
that's
It's
kind
a,
of the underrated part about divers. Yeah,
yeah, and so like walk me through it when you're when you're
sure.
evaluating a common and like the value of a
Sure.
common and also like what are your goals here to to evaluate like the true like economy value of a common or the
Mm.
assassination value and for whatever your goal is then like how do you go about like what's your process of evaluating that?
You have to make an idea of whether or not that you're trying to make econ or if you're trying to take out damage on a summoner, and if you can take them out on the subsequent turn. Generally,
Yeah.
as the birds, it's can I kill them on this turn? Probably not. Can I do enough damage on them this turn that I could do it on the second turn? Otherwise, it makes sense to probably play some econ. Um, you you can't just constantly go on the prowl with just about any faction without having some return. And you get bit by that a lot. If you just constantly go on the offense, you're going to find yourselves uh, thirsty to play the cards that you need to, unless you discard really heavy. And it's
Yeah.
this balance that's hard to describe. Um, uh, I think if for anybody that's playing an aggressive faction, which a lot of folks would proclaim that the birds are an aggressive faction, that you'll do fine if you plan the offense and discard heavy every single time. But you can't play every game like that. And identifying why you can't is complicated. I'd like to think that there are little minutiae that will help you to at least play the odds. And that's the intention of the guide. How can I play my odds such that if I want to play aggressive or I want to play econ, that I'm going to get the most out of every single attack? Um, how do I set myself up such that I can set my attack lines where I will likely kill the enemy summoner, or likely get enough magic back that I can play the units that are in my hand for the next turn. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, so let me look at
yeah.
I'm
Tell me.
curious about like how you get into the the mathematics of playing your odds. I mean, as far as just
Sure,
like going
sure,
over the value of the commons.
sure.
I mean the two that I
That's pretty
read seem
common.
seem very. I mean, it seems it's so, but my sort of instinct about like when do I want to use divers? Where are they good? Like I read this paragraph and I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. It's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and it's like yeah, like they're not great for value, but when
yeah.
you kill off those one health units and when they let you reinforce where otherwise you wouldn't, it's like yeah, that's exactly it.
Totally.
And the
That's a
sage
game changer. If you can pull
and the
off the move where
enabler.
you clip it for 1 damage and you open up that space and you put your next common there, it's unparalleled.
Yeah,
It's better than the Ember Archers in that fashion where they move and they open up that square because you can still summon there. There's few units in the game that allow you to do that.
yeah, yeah,
I spend a section ripping on Guilford as
for
being the
sure.
worst,
Poor guy,
the worst champion in the game.
the world's saddest Chad.
And he's far from a Chad. He's
He's trying though.
no,
Golden
he's doing
boy.
his best. I see, like stat wise and ability wise, he looks top tier.
Yeah.
Um, and when I started playing Ava and the Sky Spear champions, I was thinking like,
Is that an Elden Ring thing? No way.
this- oh,
Gilbert Gottfried?
yeah, I think that's the
Sorry to
guy from
interrupt.
Home Alone.
Okay,
Is that
gotcha. There's a stupid.
isn't it? Yeah, like
Yeah, no,
let's see.
I'm bad at getting references. I like the tongue in cheek though. I'm a fan.
So let's see. Yeah, it's Gilbert Gottfried, and I'm pretty sure he's popular from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2, at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good
So you got to give all the all the units a funny name.
for
You
sure.
got Lord of the Wings, Ava, Dagger Diva, Blue
Yeah.
Footed Booby, Big Bird, and Friendship Train.
Good.
Um, yeah, giving
Great.
them a funny name kind
Great.
of lends itself to people having more fun as they're playing them. Yeah, so the idea of the guide wasn't to simply describe the utility of the units, but a reference for the the means by which how much damage can I do with what I have on the board. I want to be able to look at here's what I have in my hands. Here's what's on the board. What are the configurations that I can do as much damage as possible? And so it started with, at least where I'm at right now, what is the highest possible damage that you could do with the birds without events? What's the highest possible damage I could do if I have um, either the Sky's Hold or the other event that I'm spacing on?
Battle song?
Um, yeah, Battle Song. Thank you. Yeah, because these are common situations that come up. Um, when you're playing the birds, you're usually going to have these units, or at least a combination of them. How much damage would this configuration do if I had Battle Song?
Yeah.
It's insane. You can take out a summoner easily, and these situations are almost never possible, at least. But a reference to see what the highest possible damage I can do, can I look to have something that's similar or a permutation of this exact setup? Um, could hold some utility. And there's something specific about the avians that lend themselves to these configurations of setups that is a little bit more complicated than other factions
Hmm.
that pulled me in the direction of even putting this together. And it's hard to describe that. Uh, having played all the other factions, the manipulation of the units or the rearrangement of them, given their movement, and their ability to sort themselves out in a certain permutation, gives them the options to make certain choices that will um, benefit them more than others.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
So
yeah, and so I'm looking at this like different. So this is different ways to get damage.
different
And,
ways to get damage.
and
Yeah.
so I assume the calculation is like, okay, so this looks like the max damage setup.
Possible without events. And I encourage anybody to think of anything otherwise.
Yeah,
But without events, I think this is the best setup with the least amount of units.
with the
If
least
it
amount of
was,
units. But then, so yeah, then
yeah,
like when you start to be, and obviously like there's a certain level of abstraction because every game's going to have very distinct situations. But you can imagine a situation in a
totally.
game where it's like, do I want the most damage, or like having a position like this where I'm like set up behind a wall. It's like stacking your units can be great for defensive
Yes,
positionings, and so I imagine is sort of the idea here. Well, how much damage am I losing out on if I set
exactly.
up this different sort of position? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also like other guides suggest, if you're playing against the birds, don't give them a firing line. Okay, so what is the alternative if your opponent isn't allowing you to get that 3 unit space in a row? Usually you have to have these adjusted configurations, much like the first one, of where you, you don't have the ability to have 3 units in a row. There's a gate there. They're working your gate. They're working their own gate to prevent that line. You have to do these wraparound maneuvers. And those are where you find that utility in damage.
Yeah.
At least calculating, I'm going to kill 1 unit, but also send 2 of my attacks with a skyward assault forward towards their summoner.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so do you end up, I guess, are you gonna add later on for like the variations, the
Totally.
average damage for
Exactly.
these? Because
Yeah.
yeah, like that's what I want. Like if I'm seeing, okay, I'm
I
on
want the
average.
peak of every scenario, but not every single possible configuration, because it's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think like
Yeah.
what I'm probably looking at is like the average, and then I like this chart too to be like, okay, like and to know exactly like okay, 88% chance to do 8 damage. Okay, like so I'm probably gonna get
Exactly.
that, and so I'd want to know with this variation, what the odds are there. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah, like it's definitely interesting. I mean, it's not, and this part of the guide like less strategy, and like I could see that, or like see all the numbers like just
Mm.
like not being as helpful for people that are new to the game, but like
Yes.
it's a
A
really
hundred percent.
interesting, it's a really interesting like study, if anything. I mean, like, and I mean sort of
It's
what Water will
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about,
It's
like
more of a like.
philosophy of games. Like I'm very curious. I'm very curious to know
Yeah.
like all of the like even if it was a purely like abstract study that didn't have implications on the game, which isn't the case. Like this
Mm.
definitely does. I'm definitely curious to like see all the numbers and the different like perfect. It almost seems like some like I don't know. Yeah, some like abstract treatise about like the perfect like military like formations and whatnot, and what the commander should do, and then apply those principles to
Totally.
games as best you can.
They're more militarized or formal, just for the fact that Ava has to be in a certain position in order to make the stewards a good unit. They're terrible otherwise, compared to. I mean, you look at the Crimson Order and you have a unit, the warrior, who gets +2 if you sacrifice one of your health uh, as a summoner. What even compares to 4 melee attack dice against just about any unit
Yeah.
for a summoner who can heal it right back? It's unparalleled. Yeah. So I love that there's these dedicated permutations of quality. The birds will will always hold a place in my heart. Um, I'd like to think that they're not just an aggressive faction, and that they can pull away and back off when you're putting your pressure back on. What are the
Yeah, for sure.
permutations that will benefit you?
For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, and that's definitely how I think about them.
sure.
I think they honestly excel at the at staying back more so than at least charging forward. They'll probably they they can't charge forward immediately like some of the horde
No.
factions can.
Well, everybody's planning like I'll block off this space so that I know for a fact that they can't
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah,
least make a line on me.
yeah.
And this is where you surprise them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I don't play them a ton, but my general strategy is I sort of keep away and force the opponent to come forward, and then I try to just keep a good positioning, and if they ever misstep, I jump over them and trap them, and that's the game. That's sort of my
Yeah.
default way. I know like I talk to some people that are just like, nope, I play them like cave goblins, and like more power to you. Um,
I just keep sending them forward, and
yeah, yeah.
if you beat me, I lose. And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll be
So,
curious to know how it develops, how the guide goes.
yeah, it sounds like Massimo is just waiting for the complete version. I'd love to put up at least part of it first. Uh, all the numbers and stuff takes a long time to put together.
I imagine for sure.
Yeah. Uh, like where do you see yourself a year from now, just with the game, with your
We're
interests?
just
Do
joking.
you do you have
I thought
longevity with the game?
I thought it was just like, where
No,
do you see yourself a year from now? Period. Like just full stop.
no,
Just
no.
no,
This isn't an
no, no,
interview.
no,
No,
no, no.
no.
You
Like
you ask great questions. I appreciate it. No, it leads to good
because
discussion.
I think the same things about myself. Yeah,
Uh, it's funny. I mean, I don't. I mean I don't really think about it, but it's a good thing to think about. Like I there's some review I think Handsome Chad posted on Board Game Geek a review that's like titled I think I could play this game every day for the rest of my life. And that is sort of where I'm at. I mean, I'm not
that's where I'm at too.
I mean I like to follow my heart and whatnot. And so like if you know if one day I'm like, you know what, I'm sick of Summoner Wars and I never want to play again, like I mean, sure, like there's nothing that's like I gotta keep playing, but so far it's just been nothing but I just keep enjoying it. And I really feel like there's just this
Yeah,
whole I really feel like I can get a lot better than I currently am. I don't know. I
same,
mean myself I mean, it is. I mean, fundamentally, I am playing for fun, and I know there's a lot of people in the community that like are more motivated by the competitive aspect than I am.
same,
And I start to be motivated too much by the competitive aspect, it starts to like burn on
same.
me, and
Yeah,
I start to want to stop playing. Like if I'm taking 20-minute turns every turn for every one of my league games, like that's a recipe for time to take a 2-month break from Summoner Wars. And I did that especially like during
yeah.
school. Like I took seasons off of the league and just didn't play Summoner Wars for a few months.
How
I
well? So
mean,
how long have you been a part of the community, or rather,
um,
playing it?
let me think. That's a year. That's a year. So 2.5 years. Is it going on?
It's so wild to me.
I need to. Oh my God, math is
I'm
so
just
hard.
happy that there's a community still, and I joined so late.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think 2.5 years. Well, I mean, so there's been a community um for first edition, and so like a lot of names in first edition, or some of them came back, like people that were debating on old forums. I know Watered's here. I don't know if they're still here in chat, but they were a big fan of first edition shenanigans, and they played a ton. They were a huge name there, and then they helped with playtesting. So a lot of people that love first edition like helped playtest the master set for second edition, and then yeah, I just
Sure.
one of my friends got the game, and I like immediately fell in love with it. The league once I hit the
Mm,
point where like my friends weren't really playing with me anymore.
sure,
uh,
sure.
that's just kind of how it be.
Did you ever play Heroescape?
I did not. Did you?
Okay. Oh, that was I would argue that that's what pulled me into the game as a totality. I loved Hero Escape. I love board games just in general, but there's a lot of overlap between the two. The
Yeah,
way that the abilities exist, the structure of the game, but it took away the complexity of setting up a board state and moved that into the complexity of the interactions between the units. Um,
interesting.
and that alone brings people into the audience in a way that was harder to include folks who couldn't afford to be able to buy the physical in-game units. Um, and so I'd like to ask you, I have friends who I believe would love to play the game, and I'm sure you do too, or at least
Yeah.
they might not, or an extension of would love to play the game. How do you personally bring people into it, or how do you talk about it if somebody asks? Like, oh, I'm
Um,
streaming a game.
yeah.
How do you talk about it to people?
Um, yeah, I mean, first off, bold of you to assume that I have friends. No, it's
No, no, you're a
uh
wonderful person,
that's
so I assume you do. Yeah.
no, that's that's a joke. Totally a joke, everyone. No need to
All right.
no. I don't well so like playing like a lot of games at like board game club at like my school. Like a lot of people like playing Magic and whatnot, and like
Sure.
there's a lot of and like seeing like board game stores around here. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of people like set in wanting to play certain games and whatnot. It's hard to and it can be hard to persuade people, but I don't know. I feel like Summoner Wars just kind of sells itself. Like if you can get someone to sit down and play the game and they're with decent enough company, like I personally just think it's hard not to fall in love with it. Um like
So
like
too.
and I think like that's sort of the ideal pitch is like when you if you want to pitch like a hobby or just anything to someone else, just recommend it. Like you want it to be this sort of thing where it's just like just do it and you'll get it. Like like there's things like it's like there's this I don't know if you ever heard of sorry this is like reminding me of another
No,
conversation I had recently of Binding of Isaac. It's a roguelike.
I love, I
You love it. Yeah, so
love that.
I haven't
Yes.
played it very much, but I was talking with a friend and I was like just there's like a fundamental disconnect for me in that game. Like so I've played it and I think it's a lot of fun, but there's this thing where it's just like none of the items that you collect in this game that as you're going through trying to beat levels like say what they do or they do but they only say it afterwards and some don't at all and there's like a bunch of secrets and stuff and so like there's a certain amount of the game like when I played it I was just reading the wiki a ton and
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way to play that game where you're not just like forced to kind of study it as a wiki. And while it could be fun, like if I was ever really into Binding of Isaac, I'd probably have to like say to someone, "This is a really good game. Like go play it." But like you just know, like you're probably gonna have to read a lot of wiki entries. And I'm actually, I mean, I'm curious to ask you since you say you're into
Yeah.
it. Is that
I'm
would you say
obsessed. Yeah.
that's would you say that's is that accurate or like would you be?
It depends on it's tailored based off the person.
Yeah,
Like, um, is it a good game on its own? Absolutely. If I find that they're invested enough, they want to put the time in to try and get to the last boss, I'll tell them, like, just so you know, you might have beat it as far as you understand, but it's not over yet. And I'd be excited to tell you if you're interested.
yeah,
Kind of open up that world to them if they are. There's people who enjoy it from a distance, and people who enjoy it, um, who want to complete it.
yeah,
And I was a person who was obsessed with trying to find every nook and cranny, try and complete it best as I could,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
I still haven't. But God, that game is it haunted me, like in a way where I just want to know every single aspect about it,
That's fun. It seems like there's a lot of
including the
people that
lore.
does that too. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's funny. I mean, it really begs that. It's like there's so many open mysteries that it just wants you to be confused about and start to get the pattern
Yeah.
of which statues you have to bomb or whatever it is.
What I find fascinating is that I'm not a completionist for
Yeah,
most games. I don't like leaving things unexplored, but um, there's something about that game that leaves you with the mystery that continues to make you want more.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's
Well, maybe like another example would just be like bigger board games or like of like recommending something but having to give a disclaimer like
sure.
like a game like Spirit Island or like Gloomhaven. Those are two
Okay.
like great, it's like really really
Mm,
wonderful well designed games, but like it's bigger. It takes 20 to 30 minutes to set up or something like, and
yes. Yeah.
obviously like and I always underestimate that, but it's like Spirit Island is, in my opinion, one of the best board games of all time. But I do need to say to someone recommend it's like it's more complicated. It's gonna take you 3 games before you feel like you have a grasp on the rules. Well, like once you have that, it's gonna be smooth sailing and it's gonna make sense to you. But like there is, I guess, just like I guess with interest in general and hobbies, like there's more roadblocks for some than others. But Summoner Wars,
Indeed.
there's just none. Like you pick up a deck, you don't like Magic. The biggest reason I don't get into it is because it's just like the the I don't know what the word for it, the way that you actually participate with the game feels like a scam. Feels like you're
It
spending
does.
way
Yeah.
more money, and it feels like a scam because it is a scam.
100%.
Spending way more money than you ever should. And Summoner Wars doesn't have that. You also like deck building. Like I struggle. Like I played Hearthstone as a kid, and it's like I
Yes.
struggled personally between like I was bad. I was terrible at the game, but it was like I was like, well, is it am I bad because my deck bad is bad, or am I bad because um
Yes.
like
My
my
decision
skill
making.
is bad, and so like that kind
Mm,
of stressed me out, and so like Summoner Wars, it helped me to just be like, no, this is your deck. Focus on getting better, and so to not have to worry about shifting cards in and out like that appealed to me. I don't know. There's no caveats. It's just and it's
mm.
$60 of fun. Is it $60? I don't know how much it goes for, but it's you can get so much out of that box.
If I wanted to play Spirit Island, is that exclusively a board game?
I think it exists online. I haven't done it on. I think they actually no. They recently like created their own. I mean, it exists on tabletop for a while, but I think they recently made their own app, and I've heard good things about it. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd recommend it. I
Well, you're
mean,
not the first person to recommend it to me, and with that type of praise, be very interested to try and uh, push my wings in that direction as well. Although I right now I'm completely captivated by Summoner Wars,
yeah,
and I hope there's the expansion too of interest once the game expands into a broader audience with iOS or Android
yeah.
or into Steam. I think the game would blow up in a way that's kind of hard to foresee. That I look at you and I see the opportunity for you to be a big name
That'd
in
be
the
scary.
industry.
I mean, it would be
I
great
would hope.
if the game
Yeah,
blows up and suddenly it's like the
yeah,
biggest thing and ever. I mean, it's
yeah,
scary because it means change, and I
yeah.
do. I mean, I've always said I really want this game to blow up, but then if you actually like present that to me as like, sorry, I'm in a very like philosophical rambling mood, but like
Sure,
if you actually
sure.
present that to me as like this is happening, it's like crap, like things are gonna change. Like Colby's gonna have a lot of money. Like what's he gonna do? Like is he
Oh,
are we gonna keep to the same design? I mean, I really I mean
yeah.
I really trust this company and
I do.
I've met all of them, and they're great, and they've said they're like committed to these principles, but I mean, and Summoner Wars is committed to like to I mean, Joe wrote a great blog post to like to have an app that does not follow all of the negative trends that most phone apps do of like sort of
I've
preying on the
seen
consumer.
even in the most recent blog was a recommendation of I understand these principles have hurt other companies,
Yeah.
and here's how we're adapting
It's so
to
thoughtful. Yeah.
avoid this. It's
Very good.
very thoughtful. Um,
Um,
and I don't know if that's just like a I'm appealing to a smaller audience, therefore these are the ideals that I would hold, or if
yeah.
this is the long term vision. How to reconcile that? Yeah. But I believe in you specifically. Um, more than anything, if that were to become the case, that you could hold that position, and
I
that you could
I
be the face
appreciate
of
it.
it in a way.
I'm the
Yeah.
face of Summoner Wars for sure. That's me. Yeah, no,
So
I
I
mean,
hope that holds you awake at night and you can't sleep. But
oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's been really hard. I've been getting about a lot of nice messages from people just being like, "Yeah, I love to watch your videos," and like it honestly means so much because like I don't know, I started playing it. Started this as like an excuse to just play more live games, and I'm always
yeah,
that's always sort of what it is at the heart of it is me wanting to play more Summoner Wars, but like the fact that like just to have like a few people there and they're enjoying the videos like I that means so much.
let's talk about the content creation portion of it. Do you foresee? Are you editing your own videos right now? First of all,
Yeah.
do
Re-
you see yourself involving anybody else with at least honing videos into the content that's if it were to blow up, at least to involve a person who would clip the videos or at least bring it down to the content that you feel like is worthwhile.
like if it ever I mean if it ever got to that point, that would be amazing. I'm definitely like
I
not
can't
not
imagine paying
getting
somebody to
not
do it.
getting ahead of ourselves. Well, yeah, I mean
Yeah,
I don't know at what point your channel how big your channel needs to be to like actually make any sort of money, but boy, am I very far away from there. And I mean, and that's just I mean, the audience for Summoner Wars is small and
yeah,
it's nice
yeah,
that way. And I mean, and if it did blow up, I guess that would change things. But you know, I'm
yeah.
I'm very happy with just you know playing some games and what I upload to YouTube is usually I mean Twitch is very nice. It like I just use a highlighter tool to just like select the portion of the broadcast and that just goes right to
Sure,
YouTube. And there's a few
sure.
videos that I've like edited more in depth with an application, but like that but those are the videos that like it takes like it ends up getting like delayed 2 weeks to go out because then
Yeah.
I like don't get to it uh
No, that's
yeah
cool.
yeah
Okay. Um, do you have a favorite? What's your favorite thing to do outside of Summoner Wars? Just in general, do you have a hobby? Do you have a favorite game? Is this your life?
is this my
Yeah.
favorite well are those two different questions
Anything.
like
If
favorite
that's cooking,
anything
if it's like yeah,
yeah
if
no
it's Summoner Wars.
I mean always things sort of come and go I play piano not like at a what's the word? Not at the level of like someone who's crazy and sight reading everything and has played piano all their life.
Sure.
I sort of I enjoy that casually. It's really it's I mean I yeah I guess you read the my profile on on Someone or Zone is I like to play piano and board games and
Cool.
I guess those are the two hobbies right now.
Oh, cool, cool,
Though I don't
cool.
like
I just bought my girlfriend a keyboard at least,
yeah
just to stay out in our main space.
yeah
That is a hobby in my own way. I'm just amazed by that. I love music, so
yeah it's
um,
really great. I mean it's something I could definitely with music and piano it definitely like comes and goes like I'll just like not play really for a few months and then I'll get really into it and yeah I don't really know the ropes when it comes to technical production and stuff but what about yourself you say you're into music any other
I
hobbies
think I have more hobbies than I have time in general. I love music. I love listening to my girlfriend play. I love playing guitar. Um,
Yeah.
Trying to find my space, and well, I moved from hobby to hobby just in general. Um, what do I love the most?
What do I love the
Uh,
most? Just write that above
yeah,
your
I
bed.
know. What do I love? Right now, I love Summoner Wars. I think that it's beautiful. It's complex. It's intense. Uh, I like spending more time with friends than I do, or showing them this game and trying to figure out if it's worth explaining it to them, or just saying like, "Oh, I spend time with the game online." It's kind of a board game, but it's also a game you can play on your phone if you're interested. So I'll show you if you like it.
Yeah.
Just kind of leave that avenue open. Um, but now I just bought a home. I got a cat, so I think that's where a lot of my time goes.
Yeah.
Trying to be
No,
a good
that's
a cat owner. Yeah.
I love cats. Cats are everything, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, well,
yeah.
well,
My
it's
cat's just sitting here on this post, so yeah.
aw,
Anyway.
great. Yeah, well,
Yes,
it's
it's been a pleasure.
it's been great to chat. Yeah, and you ask, I mean,
Yes.
you ask great questions that leads to great conversations. So been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to come back. Love to
Okay.
play some more.
I wish that Fallen Doors game was my game to beat you, but I will
Uh,
beat you soon.
you're close. You've beaten me. Didn't we do an
Next
async?
week.
You beat me in some games
I've
we
won an
played.
async, but that's not
Yeah,
the same.
it's not the same. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. We consider. I feel bad that that you pressed the concede button there. If you'd passed it back to me, I would have. You can
Yeah,
pretend that
I don't
was.
want that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's gotta. It's
No,
funny.
it's yeah, it's
You got so
different.
close, and Joe is like, "No, you're not
Yeah,
playing Monstrosity." That's such a weird bug. No, we'll keep playing, and good luck writing the guide and everything.
appreciate it.
Um,
Always a pleasure, Ben. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
So,
I'll talk to you
okay.
later.
You have a good one.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
too.
bye
All
bye.
right. Bye. Uh, awesome. That's a lot of fun. Fun games and just fun to talk about. Something funny. Sorry, I have some funny Discord messages. I don't. All right. I will. Do I have any other games to play? Probably we can just call it. Yeah, I think it's probably good to call the stream. I don't know. Water, did you run off? You wanna, if you're free the next 4 days, like, I'll send them a message. Otherwise, maybe like tomorrow night or something. So I have beans lined up tomorrow in the afternoon, and then I don't have anyone in the evening. Um, and I do have time in the evening, and then Saturday we got the scuffle, and I'm hoping to do some more like super random shenanigans with Iridium, like a bunch of live games. What time is the scuffle? It's at 4. Excuse me as I double check this. Yeah, it's at 4, right? It's going up. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Goodness, I love that artwork. Not to pat myself on my own back. Maldaria and the big dinosaur. Um, Good stuff. Right now, Crimson Order are at 7 votes. Mountain Vargath is at 6. Very close, very tight. We gotta find some more bugs tomorrow. Apparently, Joe's gonna block my email by the end of this. Don't know what's going on here. Um, but yeah, that's. Ooh, it's been a lot of fun. Excuse me. Yeah, well, thanks for coming by. It's fun chatting with you all. and I will be back on tomorrow in the afternoon. And maybe later, if I can get anything lined up with Watered while he's got time, I will definitely message about that in the content streaming channel. But yeah, anyway, thanks for coming by. Catch you later. Bye.